nomination. Last night, Tim Walz officially became the Democrats' vice presidential nominee, capturing a ringing endorsement from U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota.
Klobuchar says the Minnesota governor has a history of making big promises and keeping them.
Tim has delivered paid leave, school lunches.
And she says, as a winning high school football coach, Walz knows how to take on the competition.
And a former public school teacher knows how to school the likes of J.D. Vance.
Klobuchar says Walz also has a history of bringing disparate groups together in Minnesota and is a strong proponent of Midwestern values. Bob Agnew at the DNC convention in Chicago.
The Republican presidential ticket running hard this week, focusing much of its effort on battleground states. Yesterday, former President Trump and his running mate J.D. Vance were in North Carolina. Vance says one of the GOP ticket's aims is to secure the border and return law and order to the streets.
If we don't have safety for our families, if we don't have security for our country, we don't have anything. And I'm a firm believer that when we talk about national security starts right here at home, right here in the great state of North Carolina.
The Italian Coast Guard confirming the body of British tech magnate Mike Lynch has been recovered, along with 4 other bodies from the sunken wreckage of a super yacht went down in a storm off Sicily. Gilma strengthening to a powerful Category 3 hurricane in the eastern Pacific. It is not threatening any landmass, and no coastal watches or warnings have been posted. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures 31 points higher. NASDAQ futures up 56 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're anyone with everyday aches and pains, I've got a question. What are you missing out on? Probably a lot. So let me tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In about 3 weeks, you'll discover what it's like to feel better. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4RELIEF.
Hi, Eric here with Ultimate Tax Group. If you owe back taxes to the IRS or state, personal or business, my team and I want to help you take your freedom back. Call Ultimate Tax Group at 888-505-1099. We will stop or prevent bank levies or wage garnishments. We care and fight for our clients. Call us today, 888-505-1099. UltimateTaxGroup.com.
Germany is introducing controversial new laws on driving and cannabis use.
It's not hard to check a driver's alcohol level, and there's clear guidance about how many pints of beer or glasses of wine will put you over the limit. But it's more complicated with cannabis. You have to test a driver's blood, and it's not clear how long the drug remains there, or how long it affects one's cognitive abilities. Germany's Society for Traffic Medicine says don't drive until 12 hours after smoking cannabis, or 24 hours after eating it. But regular users may need to wait several days before they're below the new legal limit.
The BBC's Paul Moss. Germany's president inaugurating a rebuilt tower of a church that became associated with the Nazis' takeover of power and whose remains were demolished under communist rule. President Frank-Walter Steinmeier says it's an opportunity to reflect on the country's complicated past. News and analysis at townhall.com. There have been more arrests in a deadly human smuggling case out of Texas.
Guatemalan police have arrested 7 Guatemalans accused of having smuggled 53 migrants from Mexico and Central America who died of asphyxiation in 2022 in Texas after being abandoned in a tractor trailer in the scorching summer heat. The United States has requested the extradition of the alleged ringleader who was one of the 7 arrested. 6 people were previously charged. Authorities say the men were aware that the trailer's air conditioning unit was malfunctioning and would not blow cool air to the migrants trapped inside. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The FBI chief says America faces heightened threats at a time when law enforcement agencies are struggling. FBI Director Christopher Wray says he is, his words, hard-pressed to think of a time in my career where so many different kind of threats are all elevated at once. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We have arrived.
We have. And you know what? You know how I know it's officially the start of the school year?
How's that?
Because my wife has already given me my first starts of a cold. So big thank you to her.
Yes. 'Tis the most wonderful time
I've
of
had
the
sinus
year.
problems all day yesterday, today. I'm just like, oh.
That's cool. Thanks for telling me that after I sat within 6 feet of you.
Actually, today I feel a little better than I've done yesterday.
That's
Today-
all a ruse. It's the Trojan horsing its way through your bloodstream right now.
But yeah, it was like 2 days ago. She's like, man, it's like, it's only been like 3 weeks. How's it already happened? That time of year.
I would think,
I set my watch to me getting sick around this time.
as a member of the educational community, I would think that your wife would have just all of the emergency. Just like every packet that's known to exist.
It doesn't matter. It still happens.
Just something to boost some immunity. I mean, because these snot balls.
The germs are strong in the class.
The germs are strong with this class.
It's every year, and then I get it. So. But but that must mean one thing. First week of football's here. I got a cold. That means it's time for football.
I don't feel good. That means it's time for high school football action.
That's right. So, but happy Friday or happy Thursday, almost Friday. In case you did not hear, we got good news yesterday. We did get permissions to video the Roswell Coyote Los Lunas matchup on tomorrow night. So we will have live streaming video and radio broadcasts of all 3 football games tomorrow night as Goddard is at home taking on Portales, 106.1 Fierro to hear that game, KSVPTV.com to watch the game. For the Coyotes in Los Lunas right here on 106.5 for the radio, KSVPTV.com for the video. Bulldogs taking on the Cavemen of Carlsbad in Artesia tomorrow night, 9:90 a.m. KSVP for the audio, radio stuff, KSVPTV.com. And again, you click the respective channels, Bulldog channels for Bulldog Sports, Goddard for Goddard, Roswell for Roswell.
The battle for Eddy County.
Absolutely.
It's going down.
Gets underway tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
And
it's exciting.
In the next 10 to 15 weeks of our lives, every Friday night. Is what we
At least a good solid 10.
And it goes quick, too.
It really does.
This first week hits, and we're like these next couple days, we're swamped. Sean and I are pretty booked today and tomorrow till
we could barely even fit in the morning show. I'll be honest.
That's right.
We're only doing this because we're contractually obligated.
It's not that bad,
No, it's not.
But so it's really crazy, especially the first week because we got to build everything. We got to create logs. We got new clients. By week 2, it starts settling, and by about week 3, week 4, we got a groove going, and then right about then it's playoff time. And what's weird this year is because they realigned districts. Like district play, like there's more than like 2 teams in the district now. So they're going to play like 2-3 games, and then it's like district games the rest of the week or the rest of the season. So
These games
it's
matter more.
A little bit different this year, but it all starts tomorrow night.
It should be interesting.
Yep.
It's funny every time I hear you say we received permission. There's a subreddit called Bone Apple Teeth.
Okay.
It's basically where people are posting like pictures of their food and with
apples and teeth.
With horrendous spellings of what the name is. Somebody posted a picture of their husband, wife, whoever, who made them a chicken parmesan.
How did they spell that one?
And they said Nothing I love more than chicken permission.
Chicken permission.
Chicken permission. So that's always the one that stuck out in my head is every time you say permission, I think chicken permission.
Oh, I love me some chicken permission. Chicken permission sandwiches? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. It was jonesing for a chicken permission.
I wonder if the guys had veal permission.
I'm going to venture no. They don't get that fancy.
He must be Italian.
But I think it's because we're so close to the games and to the to the action. That's why it just flies by. Because with me doing the opens and the promos every week, I'm always surprised. I'm like, it's week 7. Wait, what?
Right? Yeah, it's like basketball season is what? What happened? But yeah, it does. It goes. It's like this first week. It just drags for me, and then once we get going and boom, and then it just zips through. But we got to get through this week first. So we're getting through this week here. But yeah, we'll be ready for tomorrow night. So hopefully we have folks traveling, and Los Lunas is a haul. So matter of fact, our announcers and everything. As soon as school lets out tomorrow, it's literally the bell rings, and it's going to be like kind of like the old schools out for summer movies where the doors open and papers fly. And,
grab their bag and run.
Yeah, Art Kelly come running out of the out of the school,
shoving kids out of the way.
Just like that.
So I would do it.
Why wouldn't you? And
they're in my way.
And we need a good montage music there while we do this.
Just like a nice guitar riff.
Just kind of the bell, the doors open, and then they come running out with papers flying and everything. Slow motion running, of course. But yes, tomorrow night, foosball.
Should be good.
Yeah, and then of course I'm an NFL, my Commanders and all that, and of course the final preseason game Sunday and.
That in and of itself, the final, we've already burned through preseason football.
Yeah, well,
they
only have 3 games now.
I know.
The last couple of 3 years, they've been doing 3 games now. Have you watched any preseason football?
Not a down.
They got a new kickoff this year.
Really?
And I've been watching it.
Okay.
It's different.
How so?
Well, and I wish I could explain this without sounding stupid, because I can't. It's just like the kicker, and they line up in a certain area. And if the kicker puts it in the end zone, it's an automatic touchback, but they got to try to kick it in the zone, and basically turns it into this weird running play. It's actually more exciting, and I think once teams figure out strategies, I think it's going to be it might work. But it definitely is a little bit more exciting than your traditional kick it into the end zone touchback, that we've been having for the last several years.
One of the only things that I actually liked from the XFL was how they started their games.
And this is,
I kind of wish they would do something like that.
Well, and they're kind of, like I was saying, they're kind of evolving a little bit to that. They're not.
Well, there's 3 new leagues, or there's a new league popping up every year. You got XFL, USFL.
That's been happening for years.
Oh, I know.
As long as I've been a kid, they've been trying to pop up new leagues, and they all go for a couple of years and then go the way of the dodo. So.
I learned an interesting fact yesterday about the Washington Generals.
Yes.
The AFL team from the 80s. Donald Trump purchased that team. Was so...
I want to say he bought the AFL.
He bought... Well, no, he didn't buy the AFL. He encouraged the league to essentially start playing games in the same sphere of time that the NFL was playing their games. And then they sued the NFL for... I don't remember the exacts of it. They ended up winning the case.
Oh, yeah?
But they only won $1.
Ooh.
Yeah. The NFL paid them $1 and then went on a just nonstop campaign of they're the $1 league and basically ran the AFL into the ground.
Yeah, well, you mess with the NFL, see what happens.
You get the horns.
We don't have monopolies. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Anyway. It's always, that does amaze me. It's like, we have all these rules in this country, except for the NFL. You do what you want.
You're fine. You guys are just playing a game.
No, your rules don't apply to the rest of everybody else. You do what you want, because you're the NFL.
What's that? You print all the money?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do what you do.
Goodell goes in there, rub elbow with Congress. Here's some money. Oh, yeah, we'll do whatever you want.
That's fine.
Dan Snyder got away with what he got away with for so many years.
He bought them all those special tinted glasses that are just so dark you can't see anything.
Yeah. They're green colored glasses, not rose colored. But I don't heard any guests or anything, right? I don't want to be talking. Okay. All right. Yeah. Scheduled to have the folks from Christchurch join us here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we'll have the folks from the DA's office join us. It'll be, I believe it'll be Jeannie Yeager, the DA dog lady, and then Justin Dominguez, lead investigator as well. And then Crystal Noble will join us in the 9 o'clock hour, talking Humane Society, talking about the fundraising event in September, updates on pets and what have you.
I've been trying to facilitate an adoption.
Of your kids, or
yes, I'm trying to offload them. So if you're looking, an adoption from the Humane Society. Ayana wants to adopt a dog, and she was looking at some of the dogs here.
Oh, cool!
She found one that was she fell in love with, and she's like, "Hey, ask Crystal about this dog." I said, so I texted her. I was like,
"Put dibs on it."
I said, "My girlfriend Las Cruz is looking to adopt a dog, and she found one on the site that she absolutely fell in love with." And Crystal's response was, "Don't tell me, Esther." That was exactly the dog. It was exactly the right dog.
What's Esther? I don't know.
Esther was one of the dogs on the page, but it's the one that she immediately fell in love with.
Okay.
It's also one of the most adorable dogs I've ever seen in my freaking life. So she knew
the list is long.
It was going to be that dog.
Yeah.
She's like, nope, sorry, already spoken for. And then we started talking about the siblings. She sent me some videos and stuff. And I'm trying to facilitate something to happen, but I don't know. When you fall in love with one dog, it's kind of hard to
tell her to keep looking. There's plenty of other beautiful little puppies that need homes.
It is dangerous though.
Yeah.
Dogs are dangerous. What I mean is, I went to a farmer's market. This is like a year ago, and they had the Humane Society or Animal Control or somebody out there, and they were adopting dogs on this at the farmer's market. I see this one dog. I'm there with my friend Misty. I see this one dog sitting in the cage. And I locked eyes with this dog, and I said, "Misty, we have to go now. We need to leave. If we don't go right now, I'm going to adopt that dog."
It will be coming up.
I can't do that. Stefan won't let me. I'll bring the dog home. Stefan will look at me like, "Bro, what the heck? We had a thing going." So yeah, I can't bring a dog home. But immediately, as soon as I locked eyes with this little itty bitty puppy, I was like, I want to love you forever. They know what they do. They make them cute right out the gate.
Oh yeah. Well, and animals know. Animals know when they're cute. I've seen it. Like my cat, Bella, my black and white. This cat has moments of diabolical, and you're just like, and it's not, like she'll just haul off and smack the other one for no reason whatsoever, other than felt like it.
Right.
And then looks at you and then rolls on the floor.
Does that thing where they put their head down? Yeah.
You're just like, man, you're evil. Look
you're
at you.
You're so dark and yet so adorable.
Yeah, she'll literally cut your throat and then turn like, ain't I cute?
I used to joke that they're so cute when they first come out because evolutionarily it's so that we don't have the urge to eat them.
That's really true.
We fall in love with them too quickly. We don't want to eat them.
And I wish I remembered because I saw this TikTok video, and this was a couple years ago, and it was of these cats, and they're talking about these like cats, and they're one of the best hunters in the world. And these cats, and they look like house cats. They look like legit, but these aren't like I don't know where they're from. Are you talking
about like lynxes?
I don't know.
Lynx and ocelots are both very cute cats.
No, I don't think they call. I don't remember them being called lynxes. I don't remember what they're. But they literally look like house cats. But they're showing them walking around hunting, and they were efficient. I will get that. They were fast and efficient.
Is it an ocelot?
Maybe, but it looked more
these things
cutie.
are.
It looked more like a kitten almost.
Ocelots are adorable as cats.
Yeah,
but they are vicious.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, they don't mess around, but they're still adorable.
Yeah.
I can't stop looking at them. But so we'll try to make that happen.
Well, now let me ask you this, because I don't think I would.
Okay.
Like, say you're a cat lover, but you are allergic to cats. Would you get one of the hairless cats?
God, no.
No, I wouldn't either.
We actually got into this conversation.
Yeah.
Jocelyn was there. We got into this conversation during my birthday party.
Yeah.
About how I don't want to ever own one, but I would love to pet a hairless cat.
Yeah, I want to touch it
because of what it feels like, and then that was a whole conversation.
Yeah, because I imagine it feels like an old man. Like you got a little old man in your lap.
Part of one. It feels like part of an old man. It had to take him a second to put it together. Yeah, that's where the conversation drifted at my party. Yeah. And they're like, no, I don't want to own that.
I just, maybe. It'd have to be a pretty personal cat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, touching it and wanting your lap, I would feel cuddly and warm.
If I was a cat, Dudley Moore, if I was a cat, like a cat lover, and I was still allergic to cats, I would try to find one that was hypoallergenic or whatever.
Yeah.
Still has hair, but, doable hair.
Right.
I shouldn't say doable. Acceptable hair.
Now the conversation.
I meant like a cat fan, not a cat lover. You see how quickly this conversation can drift away. And then you're like, no, I didn't mean it like that.
Right. That happens to me all the time. I say things like, that didn't come out right.
Speaking of which, I believe our guests are here.
I believe you're right. So, bailing us out once again.
That's right.
It is 20 minutes after 7. Let's, before we do any of that, get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Be careful out in the heat today. We're headed for about 105 on the afternoon high. Upper level high pressure in the Texas Panhandle is covering our area. Sunshine through the day, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds drifting through. We're in the mid 70s and then near 105 for the afternoon high again on Friday and sunny. Low 100s on Saturday, upper 90s on Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 34% with winds calm at the moment. We do have another heat advisory in effect because it's going to be hot again. 106 our high today under sunny skies. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 73 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, another hot one, 105 tomorrow with winds out of the west, 5 to 15 miles per hour. For the weekend, 102 for a high on Saturday with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday with highs right around 100. And then, folks, I might have good news for you. Maybe. Because beginning Monday, the temperatures drop below 100. And they add rain chances. And I'm talking Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm looking at it now. This could all change. But as of right now, they're talking a 20% chance of afternoon showers on Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 97, a 30% Monday night with an overnight low of 69, below 70. Tuesday, 20% chance for showers, high of 95. Tuesday night, a 20% with an overnight low of 67. And Wednesday, a 20% with a high of 94. So next week, we might start seeing a bit of a respite from these one-hots. So drink it in, enjoy, but got to get through a couple more days of it first. All right, it is 7:23. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll have the folks from Christchurch join us here in Roswell. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers. Joanne Bartlett passed away in Houston, Texas. Service will be held Saturday, August 24th, 9 a.m. at South Park Cemetery. Dixie Summersgill passed away July 5th. Service will be Saturday, August 31st, 10 a.m. at McBride Veteran Cemetery. Tracy Foucher passed away August 8th. There are no services scheduled at this time. Brittany Brito passed away August 8th. Visitation is Monday, August 26th, 1 to 4 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Services will be Tuesday, August 27th, 10 a.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. And interment following the service at South Park Cemetery. Danny McFadden passed away August 2nd. Memorial service will be 10 a.m. Saturday, August 24th at First Baptist Church. And interment following the service at McBride Veteran Cemetery. LaGrone Funeral Chapel remembers and celebrates David Joe Stogden, who passed away August 15th. Visitation will be Thursday, August 22nd, 5 to 7 p.m., with rosary to follow at 7 p.m. at LaGrone Funeral Chapel. Mass will be Friday, August 23rd, 2 p.m. at St. John's Catholic Church, with interment following Mass at South Park Cemetery. This has been today's remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel.
The Labor Day savings event is on now at Roswell Honda with scorching savings across the lot on a great selection of vehicles like a 2023 Toyota Tacoma priced under $34,000 or a brand new Honda CR-V for under $36,000. In the service department, take $10 off your next oil change and tires are buy 3, get 1 free. Then join Roswell Honda Saturday, July 31st from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kids, and your chance to score a 4-burner gas grill and $200 Super Meat Mart gift card. The Labor Day savings event on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2668.
Fergalicious. Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, it's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Christchurch here in Roswell. Of course, Lonnie Owen's back with us. Good morning, Lonnie.
Good morning.
We also have Katie Rolk. Did I say Rolk right?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. I like when I do that. And Kelly Castles as well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first off, before we talk about community Bible study, just do a quick plug for Christchurch and say, hey, you know, looking for a church home, come see us this Sunday.
Well, I'd be glad to do that. Kelly and Katie may like me to point out that we're representing three different churches.
Well, I will give everyone here the opportunity.
But it kind of feeds right into why we're here, right? This is a community Bible study.
Absolutely, yeah.
For people from all over our area, from whatever church background. But yes, I'm at Christ Church, which is 2200 North Sycamore, and I'm sure that Katie and Kelly will say the same. But we'd love to have anybody come and visit with us anytime. Yeah. And we have a website. Matter of fact, they were out here in your office just looking at our website a minute ago, and so people can, if they're interested to know more about Christ Church, they can just go to our website.
Excellent. All right, now plug time for the rest of you too, since I give everyone. Kelly, go ahead.
I go to Grace Community Church.
Excellent.
So
people may have heard of that one.
Yeah, and that's. I think that's right. What Lonnie said is what we're involved with here today is community Bible study, and the beauty of it is all are welcome.
Sure.
All are welcome, whether you can pay the fee or not, whether you go to church or not, and wherever you go to church, all are welcome at community Bible study. So I've always liked that about being involved with CBS.
Absolutely, Katie.
Absolutely, thank you.
Plug your church.
Yeah, I go to Calvary Chapel, and I also ring handbells at St. Andrews.
Awesome.
So a lot of great churches in this town.
So you're running back and forth on Sundays. Like, I'm going to get over here.
We only ring handbells every now and then.
But again, this exercises the point I'm saying. This is a community Bible study.
Absolutely.
Whether you're Catholic, whether you're Baptist, whether you're whatever, Seventh-day Adventist, whatever. If you believe in Christ, then we would love to have you come to Bible study.
Absolutely.
Or if you wanted to learn more about Jesus.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't, yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, we talk about the Bible, and people spend their entire lives studying and trying to understand its meaning, and that's what the Bible is. It's a simple book and it's a complex book all at the same time, and sometimes when you're home reading or home doing your own, you get your own, but you always hit a moment of what? There's a lot of begats there. What are they talking about? and so that's where community Bible study comes in, because that's where everyone talks, and to be honest, you're going to get different opinions. You're going to get people who will read a passage and say, to me that means this, and then someone else will say, well, I don't know, I think it's intended to be this, and then there the discussion goes. And so,
well, you just said a mouthful there, Mike.
I usually do.
You said a lot of important things right there. One of the things in Proverbs, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And the whole context for really church attendance, and according to Hebrews, is that we're to encourage one another. We're to meet together to encourage one another. So I love to realize that the Bible has a meaning, but none of us have it completely figured out. We're all learners, right? So we get together to help each other find out what does it really mean.
Sure.
And so what you said is really good. The other thing, real quick, I want to just pick up on that you said is, none of those titles about church names or denomination names, none of that's in the Bible. In the Bible, it's either we're with Jesus Christ or we're not. And like you said, we just would like to invite anybody and everybody that wants to come and study. And if we have time, we'll talk a little bit about how CBS looks. We'll get Katie or Kelly to do that, but because it is a little bit of a unique model.
Absolutely, and what we're actually talking about here with Katie, we got two different Bible studies going on right now. We have the community Bible study, which yourself and Kelly kind of run, and then Katie, you have the women's Bible study, which meets the next night. Now the content is probably similar. The lesson plans probably follow along, but
we're using the same book this
year. There you go.
Yeah.
But now because let's face it, sometimes you feel more comfortable in people that kind of share a lot of life experiences with you, and so this gives a chance for women in their own comfortable environment to share their thoughts on the Bible and try to grow and understand it together.
Absolutely. And our class has childcare available, and so anybody that wants to come and study the Bible can have a 2-hour pause break while other women will take care of those children, love on those children, and so the moms can have a minute, or the grandmoms, or whoever they are, can have a moment just to fellowship in community with people that also want to learn, but they get that moment.
And to be honest, it's great for your kids.
Absolutely.
Especially if maybe you're homeschooling or something like that. And so the one thing that it's kind of the drawback to that is socialization and kind of that with your kids. And you can get some of that while you're growing in your Bible study class.
Yeah, this year we actually have we're doing a primary curriculum for homeschooled children.
Excellent.
And so it's an excellent way
so
to
they're
have
learning a little bit too
another
while they're in
teacher
there
involved.
being babysat.
That's right.
Good.
I just want to clarify real quick though before that theirs is a daytime class.
Yes, that's during the day. Yeah, give the hours for your class, and then I know I'm all over the place.
We meet the women's class meets on Wednesday mornings at Christ Church, 2200 North Sycamore.
Okay.
From 9:30 in the morning until 11:30 in the morning.
Okay. And then the community Bible study meets the day before.
And they're both community Bible study.
Sure, yeah.
And
all are welcome.
We meet on
women's and
women's and evening. We call it basically we say day and evening. That's the way we say it. So ours is we're studying the exact same book, the book of Matthew.
Okay.
We'll be on the exact same lesson that they're on.
Okay.
And we meet on Tuesday nights, 6:30.
Well, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. We have a little bit of a meal. And then we go into our study, our core groups. We can talk about how CBS is pretty cool. You can learn the Bible in 4 different ways.
Gotcha.
You have a lesson that you do at home. Takes an hour.
Okay.
It makes you negotiate around your Bible. You just don't look at the section, the chapter that you're studying. But if you're reading Matthew, it may also have you go look in Luke or John, or maybe back in the Old Testament for context.
Yeah.
So it takes about an hour. And it's very good. It teaches you how to move around the Bible, how the Bible's connected.
That's and then an excellent point. People don't think about that, because the Bible, the way it's written, and most of us open, cover, start. When you hit the end, you're done.
Yeah.
And the Bible don't work that way.
Yeah. The New Testament means a lot more if you understand the Old Testament.
Sure.
And really, the New Testament's just the completion of the Old Testament. But then we have our small groups where you go into a small group time for about another hour or so, and you go over your lesson with your group, your small group, the same people. You're with the same people every week. And then after that, there's a lecture time, 20, 30 minutes of lecture time about that scripture. And then finally, there's a little commentary that goes with the lesson that's in your lesson book. So you learn the Bible, that section of the Bible, 4 different ways. Pretty cool. Really very cool.
I'm kind of curious because CBS, it's international, right?
Yes, sir.
This is not just something you have in Roswell. It's all over. Is the curriculum, so like say someone comes and moves here, like in the middle. Could they, in essence, pick up right where they left off if they came from Texas or Colorado or some other place? So, like, is the lesson plans that, kind of concurrent with the other CBSs around the country?
If they're studying the same book.
Same book, okay.
They're different. The curriculum is pretty broad.
Okay.
So, but we think that there's a little benefit to our 2 classes, the nighttime Tuesday evening co-ed class, and the Wednesday morning ladies class, who are both studying the same book.
Gotcha.
But if somebody moved from North Carolina and they were studying Matthew, yes,
They could kind of pop right in, have a seat, and pick up right where they left off, so to speak.
Well, and they can pop in anyway. I mean, we would
sure,
welcome them
absolutely.
at any time.
But I'm just thinking if someone's new, it's like, I need a new Bible study, or they're just moving. I was like, well, here you go.
When we moved here from law school in 1990, my wife was invited to community Bible study, the day class back in those days.
Okay.
And I would say the majority of our friend base that we still have today, the foundation, I guess, of our community in Roswell, what came from that class.
Sure.
And the good thing about it is you meet people from all across the spectrum, different churches. And I'll forever be thankful for community Bible. My kids grew up they're all in their 30s now. They all grew up in the day class. Okay. They were in public school, but before they went off to school, they were part of the children's program at Community Bible Study in the day class, and they learned so much. And we sing the songs that they learned to their children today.
That's awesome.
It is very, very cool. Yeah, it's a great legacy.
And that's something we kind of, the ancillary thing of community Bible study, yes, you're growing spiritually, you're learning with others to come closer with God and understanding the Bible, but you're also making friends. And if you're kind of like your social circle's a little light and you're looking for, places, people to mingle and do things with maybe outside of, your day-to-day life, next thing you know, now you got lunch buddies, you got movie buddies, or you got, Friday night football buddies, whatever. That's the other part is, like you said, you come in, especially if you're new to the community, you come in, now you just got an instant network of new people to kind of be friends with, mingle with, and share lives with here. So.
That's right. Thank you so much for saying that. Katie, would you go ahead and just talk a little bit, though, about how you said somebody could just pop in any given week. Why does that work?
Well, each lesson is an individual lesson. It's self-contained in a way.
Sure.
I mean, it's part of an obviously bigger story.
But each person's growth from within it could be different based on, how they take it. And
yes, and the Word is living and active, and so it will meet you where you are. And so every day you could just open up. You could start at lesson 12. You could start at lesson 18, and you're going to be able to start there and learn with us the rest of the year. And pick up whatever the Lord has for you in that space.
Well, it kind of works just like Christianity. There isn't like, oh, sorry, this is the membership period. We're letting folks in. No, you come in whenever. And generally speaking, some folks generally find it at their lowest point in life. That's when they said, and that necessarily didn't work out at 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's. And so you pick up where it is, and where you found God is where you found God, and that's where you go. And Bible study is very much the same way. You join today, you're going to start today and start learning, and we'll get around to the other stuff. You missed it the first time.
I would say that it's even especially more true this year when we are studying the gospel.
Sure.
Because the gospel is so accessible. No matter if you've never opened a Bible before, this is a great time to come get in the lessons and learn.
And I know, generally speaking, because this time of year, it just seems to be that reboot time. It's like the kids start school and everything. So this is a perfect time to say, you know what? This is a time for me to do my own growth in spirit. Now the kids are at school, I can maybe do some Bible study or do something, especially like you said, for daytime. Maybe you're a stay-at-home parent and life's, handing you a bunch of stuff. Like, now I got a few minutes. I can do something like that.
Yeah, so, we did want to say that people can come at any time, but some people like to get in on the ground floor, and that's why we're here now, because next week is when we start.
This is kind of a good, if you're going to get in, this is a good beginning point.
It'd be a great time, and for our class, the Tuesday night co-ed class, we're having what we call intro night next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. We do meet at both classes meet at Christ Church.
Okay.
So we want to clarify it's not a Christ Church deal, but we do use the Christ Church building, and so at Christ Church next Tuesday night, anybody could come, and then the same. That's Tuesday night at 6, and then you guys are Wednesday morning at 9:30, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So come and here's the thing: if you can't make it next week, don't feel like, I can't start the next week. If I miss next week, I'm out. No. I get it. Life happens, and maybe you can't make the first one. Well, by golly, come on into the next one.
Or anytime,
There'll be food. There's always food. It's true.
There is. That's right.
That's the one thing we all know is if you cook it, they will come.
That's right.
But I just curious for your own personally here, how much, because now I'm just curious, were you guys did you do community Bible study in your own youth and things? How much because I'm curious to see the growth of it, like someone that just started it versus, because everyone starts different spots and everyone, reading levels and understanding is different. But, it's like for you, is like how many, like, what is it just been something a part of your life, or is this something you said, you know what? I was kind of like, that sounds all well and good, but now I start doing it. I'm like, I'm really grown and learned a lot from this.
Right, so I'll start because I'm basically still a rookie. This is just my second year. So,
newbie.
I'm a newbie, so I'm still on a learning curve, but I've really enjoyed everything that Kelly and Katie just talked about.
Sure.
Just that whole dynamic of people. We get the chance to study it on our own.
Sure.
Then come together, discuss it, and then all come together, for a brief teaching time.
Sure.
So, for these two have a lot more experience than I do.
You're the ones that are kind of. So for you guys, is it something?
Well, I had the pleasure of being in teen community Bible study under Kelly Castles for at least 3 years.
So
in
Kelly's by de facto a bit of a mentor for you.
Absolutely.
A little bit. Yeah.
I claim Katie. I'm so proud of her.
I claim Kelly too.
So it's his fault. I'm just kidding.
I'll take all the blame.
All
for
the
Katie.
blame and
Yes,
credit. Got it all here.
But then, so I would say that there's been 2 significant periods of my life where community Bible study has impacted me. That first was during high school, and then I had a gap period where CBS was not available.
Sure.
But after we moved back to Roswell, got into the women's class. I think I've been in that class I think this is going on my 8th year.
Oh, excellent.
It's my first year as the teaching director, but I'm just always amazed at how much depth and growth and richness there is in that community group.
And it sounds like it really, like you found it in life at that, let's face it, it's a real transitional point in life for humans.
Absolutely.
That moment from teenager to adulthood, arguably that's the most confusing time for a lot of people, because you're like, I want to do kid stuff and adult stuff. And so I imagine that you kind of fell into your world probably at a maybe God put it in for a reason
Absolutely.
at that time.
I'm incredibly grateful for community Bible study
Absolutely.
and how the method that they use with the questions and focusing on what the Bible's teaching us.
Sure.
Not what a pastor on Sunday is teaching, but
Sure.
just what the Bible is saying. That's all you have to look at to be able to do the lesson.
Sure.
That how impactful that can be.
Absolutely. Well, and I think, and I don't want to get church, but I also think too is what community Bible study does is, because let's face it, you go to church on Sunday, and depending on the churches, some are more ornate than others, but there's such a formality to it. Like, okay, we got to do the steps, we got to do the process. We don't do that right, then that's. And so I think people get that image of God, or that image of what it means to be godlike. And I think this dispels all that. You go to community Bible study, and it's like, come in your T-shirt, your jeans, come at have a seat. No, we ain't got to do this. You ain't got to kneel, pray. You ain't got to do whatever. No blessings. Just sit down and open the book and let's talk.
Right.
And that to me makes church relatable, where people might look at it as this reasonable thing, and like I'm not saying show's not the right word, but you know what I mean? Just part of a formal process, where Bible study is like, no, this is the informality of God. This is humans connecting and trying to understand the Word of God, and that's all it is. So, that being said, Kelly, now how did this come to you or into your life?
As I said, we moved here in 1990. My wife was invited to the day class early on, and then probably 1993, 94, I joined the evening class and was involved. And I was playing being a Christian, right? If you would have asked me, I would have felt like I was right where I needed to be, that I had everything pretty much lined out. I could handle anything that came my direction. But when I went to community Bible study, I saw these men, and I'll say mostly the older men. Some of them were farmers, some of them were ranchers, some of them were oilmen, some of them were doctors, some of them were lawyers, some of them in my small group there, the first few years. And I remember I used to struggle with the idea of, say, being a lawyer and a Christian. You got that question a lot, like there were two different things.
Sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I realized watching these guys and hearing these guys, and these were people that I didn't really know, but they were people in the community I knew of. Mm-hmm. And I looked up to them and seeing how they studied their Bible, even though they might have owned an oil company or been a doctor or a farmer or a rancher or a carpenter, whatever it was, whatever your life was, these guys, the Bible meant something to them.
Yeah.
And it impacted their life every day. And it was probably the first time I ever really realized that there's not two identities. You don't have a job and a faith. You've got a faith and everything else is secondary. And these men's faith informed everything they did. They weren't perfect, obviously,
Nobody.
but their faith informed everything they did. It was a part of every day of their lives. And the Lord softened my heart watching these guys and seeing what it looked like to really be a Christ follower. And then I went on a walk to Emmaus. You've probably heard of one of those. And at that walk, I finally realized I was sitting on the throne of my life. I needed to get off and give it to the Lord. And that was 1997. I think right that very next year then, God said, I've equipped you your whole life. You've got everything you need to do, but all you want to do is sit on the bench. And it's time for you to get in the game. And then myself and some very, very good people started the teen class, and I think it was 98 or 97, and it went for like 23 years.
Interesting.
And COVID kind of knocked the breath out of it a little bit. But anyway, then I got involved in the evening class with Lonnie.
I found it fascinating that kind of at the end of the day, kind of the what turned you, basically people that you looked up to as influential people and said, what makes them tick?
Yeah.
And you saw that, and to me that's, because it's a reminder to all of us that we're all examples.
Yes.
And even if you don't think you're influential, you're very influential. And so it just by you living your life and leading by example, you are doing it whether you realize it or not. And I think your story is proof in that pudding. It's like, I'm sure those gentlemen that you looked up to probably had no earthly idea that you're the reason, because of their life, you were brought to the Bible.
Yes.
So
a bunch of them
just interesting.
A bunch of them have passed away over the years, but a bunch of them are still in my life, and I still look up to all of them. And they didn't preach at me; they just lived their life, and they showed me that the Bible meant something to them, and it informed what they did every day.
And that kind of reminds me of something else too here. And I tend to get on diatribe, but I try not to keep this one short. But it kind of and this is what community Bible study does: is it kind of, regardless of expertise, background, and all that, you could be, quote unquote, consider yourself a theologian.
Exactly.
And you're on the same footing as the person that's never cracked open the Bible.
That's right.
And that's what we're trying to talk. And to be honest, each of you are going to learn equally, I think. I think that's, the more you know, the more you don't know sometimes. And sometimes you get set in a certain way, and that's what Bible study is. You may have just been reading it your whole life and thinking, this is it, and then that gets challenged in Bible study, and that's what it's for, is to do that. And so that's what I love about it, is someone that, quote unquote, lived their whole life under God versus maybe they're new to it. You're equally the same in the knowledge, and you're all growing together and all. And that's what Bible study is about. There is no, obviously your Bible leaders who are leading the group, but really everyone's opinion, everyone's thoughts, it's all on equal footing here. So
yeah, and Mike, we would welcome somebody even that's not even sure if they know that God is real, if they just want to consider.
If you're looking for evidence and you're questioning what's going on, I think Bible study is going to be your best bet for finding what you're looking for.
Please
here.
come.
Absolutely.
Because again, you just keep saying these things that are great lead-ins, which I guess is why you
set them up.
I mean, I guess that's your job, right?
That's what I do.
So you're doing your job well. But I think about Jesus saying, heaven and earth will pass away, but not one jot or one tittle of my word will pass away. In other words, not even one little punctuation mark. And for the Lord to say that his word is that important, I mean, that's the whole impetus, right, for us saying, let's make this a part of our week to get together and just grapple with, as Katie said, what does it actually say and what does it actually mean? That's really the kind of the bottom line.
And I would even offer, too, is, let's face it, we're not, unless you're living your head in the sand, the world is a little bit crazy right now.
It is.
I don't care your beliefs, whatever your political, whatever, we can all agree it don't feel right now. You know what I mean? And so this is what I'm like, this is when you go back to what is tried and true. This is when things are questionable, you go back to what is not questionable. And for me and for many people, it is God. And so maybe it is time. You're thinking, life's getting a little, I need a mental health break here. I need to take care of my own mental health. Community Bible study. There you go.
There you go.
There's your mental health right there.
You get that. You get a firm foundation. No matter what your circumstances are, you've got something solid to stand on and build your life on. And it doesn't mean our lives are any easier as believers, but at least we know who's in charge. We know who holds the future.
Well, when you have faith, the rest is going to work itself out. Yeah. And that's all. That's. And at the end of the day, you could get handed a big old barrel of stink. But you're like, you know what? It's going to work out. God wouldn't have put, and I believe this, God wouldn't have put it on my plate if I wasn't able to handle this. I believe that. And so I have to remind myself of that. Like, God thinks I got this. I better figure it out. But that's community Bible study. And it's understanding and coming. So please join us for the first one here. August 27th and 28th will be our opening nights here, opening days for those here. But by all means, if life's busy and you're like, I can't make it those days, please don't say, I guess I'm out. No, come the next week. Keep coming. If you can't make it every week, you can't make it. I mean, we get it. Life's here. But keep coming. Come at, when you can, every time. Sure, if you can come every time, that'd be great because, you're going to grow and learn a lot more. But I get it. Life's busy, and sometimes you miss weeks. Don't let that deter you. You can always come back. Even maybe you went years ago. You're like, man, I missed out, and I just kind of stopped going because come on back. Come back next week. We're kind of starting a new fresh start here with our curriculum. So let's go ahead and a good starting point here. So
we did something really cool last night. If you have a few more minutes,
yeah,
it was her idea. So I'll let her tell us what we did last night.
Well, there's something really special about hearing scripture in community read aloud, and so we gathered as 2 classes and at the Christchurch building for several hours in the evening. It only takes 2.5 hours to read the entire book of Matthew.
Okay.
And so you can read the entire gospel. And so what we did was we just lined up readers, people whoever could came and sat, and some read and some listened.
Okay, so just a big group reading of Matthew.
Big group reading.
Night, yeah. How cool is that? Excellent.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that before, and it was really, really neat to sit and listen. And I think when it was over, Lonnie said, can you believe how fast 2.5 hours passed by? We went from the beginning of Jesus' life to the resurrection and his charge to the apostles.
Now, how many stops to understand does that happen, or you just do straight reading? Okay, I didn't know, because I'd be like, what does that mean next? Because I'd be the guy that it takes it longer than 2, because I'd be the guy, what's that about? Next thing you know, here we go.
And that's why you come to community Bible study.
That's right.
Right? Because now we're going to go through it methodically.
Yeah, that's the classes after. Now we got the teaching. You come in next week to find out more.
Right.
You'll be there on Tuesday night. Right?
There you go. Absolutely. But please come check it out. Come. You don't have to. Even if you got nothing, if your world's great, come anyway. But if you are, maybe there is a void. Maybe you're dealing with issues. Bible study could help you navigate through that. Kind of give you the big. You may not walk in. It's not going to tell you how to, get your kids' hair braided on time or whatever. But it's going to give you the strength. Okay, now I know how to deal with my own life and manage my problems and deal, because I've got God's support. I've got that knowledge. I've got that wisdom. I've got that faith that I'm dealing with something pretty bad right now, but we're gonna come out on the other side in a better place here, one way or another. It's gonna happen. So, and that's, I think, Bible study reminds you of that sometimes.
There's a promise at the very end of the book of Matthew that says, "Lo," it's Jesus speaking at the end of the Great Commission, and he says, "Lo, I am with you, even unto the end of the age." Mm-hmm. That's the promise of his presence, and that's what we all need. And so this year, that's a giveaway to the whole, to where we're going this year with community Bible study. But lo, he is with you, even unto the end of the age. So no matter how alone you feel, no matter how, difficult life is at the moment, you can live in a way that is in relationship with the creator of the universe.
Absolutely.
And there is some real power and wonder and comfort in that.
Absolutely.
So we would just invite everyone into that.
Come be a part of it. Come see and come. At worst, you're going to meet some nice people, make some friends, and might have. At best, we've solidified your soul.
And absolutely. That's the bottom line of life, isn't it? 'Cause, Jesus did also say that what would it profit us? What would it profit a man if we would gain the whole world, everything the world had to offer? If we could gain all that but lost our soul, that'd be a terrible deal. So yes, we are dealing with eternal matters and what's most important in life. And,
absolutely.
But I would like to stress, Mike, that people can come, say, next Tuesday night if they just think they might be interested. They don't have to make a commitment. Just come check it out. See if see if it seems like it would be a fit. And this is a little. We're just fledgling in this, trying to get a children's program going for the Tuesday night class as well.
Okay.
So we're trying. We don't have that completely worked out, but if we're wanting to branch out to reach younger families, so if there are younger families listening, come next Tuesday night. Bring your kids. We're going to be ready to have something going for kids next Tuesday night and see what kind of interest there is.
Sure. So what kind of
We're
numbers,
trying to
what
build
kind of
that
generate,
on
yeah.
Tuesday night. Wednesday mornings, they've got a well-run children's program. I mean, it's been going for how long?
Probably as long as the class has been in existence.
Almost 40 years.
So almost
okay.
40 years.
So they kind of got it figured out at this point. After 40 years, they got a plan.
Right.
They got a routine.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so come, and like you said, you guys do meet at Christ Church for the Bible studies and all that. So you're more than welcome. And so you could call. So if they want to get a hold of you guys, I know you can always probably go to either one of your churches, Grace or any of the churches, and ask. But is there actual community Bible study Facebook or something direct that they can go to?
Yes, and we actually both classes have
their own Facebook page.
Well,
or website.
Our class has a Facebook page, and both classes have a website address.
Okay.
Our class has a Facebook page as well.
Okay.
I believe it's Women's Roswell CBS class, so something like that.
And I see the one on here, the Roswell.cbsclass.org.
Yes.
Is that kind of your blanket one? If you go there, you can find everything you need.
That's a good general
Okay.
information page for
Okay.
the women's state class.
Okay, very good. So if you want to do some reading and learn a little bit about what kind of curriculum you're going over and stuff, that would be a great way to do that. And of course, you can always call 575-623-4110. And I'm not sure who that goes to, but
that's Christ Church office.
Okay, so you talk to Christ Church there. But like we said, come on out. The co-ed classes will be Tuesday nights beginning here on the 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. And then the ladies' classes will start the next morning, Wednesday the 28th. And that'll be from 9:30 to 11. And that'll be each Tuesday and Wednesday here for the foreseeable future now. So just kind of make your plans. And like I said, if you can't make it this first one, no biggie. Come on out to the next one. Come as you are. Come. You know, like you said, bring the kids, bring the family. We've got places, we got things to keep them occupied and everything else. And just come, bring the family. Bring, maybe it's husband and wife. Come the first time as a husband and wife, or bring the kids, or maybe you're retired. Maybe the kids are off, college and living their lives, and just you guys and looking for more things to do together. Community Bible study, great opportunity there. So who knows?
Right. On Tuesday nights we have classes for couples, classes for men, classes for women. So people, single adults, we kind of have a place for.
If you're a human being, we got a room for you. Very good. Is there anything we missed? Anything you guys wanted to get out there that I just skipped over or spaced over?
I'll just say, none of us, whether we're teachers or members of these classes, none of us have arrived, right? You never get to the end of learning about Jesus. Katie can read Matthew chapter 2, and she said it well, that the Bible's alive and it's living. And if she reads Matthew chapter 2, the Lord's going to speak to her what she needs to get out of it. I can read Matthew chapter 2, and I'm in a different place in my life, and he's going to tell me what I get out of it.
But it's what you needed at that moment.
Yes, exactly right. And there are... I can't tell you how many times that we've all passed through these passages and you read through it and you thought, gosh, I've never thought about that before. And I'll tell you, the reason the Lord has me being a teacher in the class is I need it worse than anybody else. And if you have to prepare a talk about Scripture, you learn more about it. And I just need it more than most, and that's why I'm in that role. But none of us are complete Christians.
God's got His plan for you guys as much as He got for us and everyone else.
That's right. None of us claim to have arrived. I'll just say that.
And that's it. If you're a human being, you're growing every day. You're going. That's life.
That's the point.
And I would say, even on your deathbed, there might be a few nuggets of wisdom you're gaining before you're moving on to the next phase here.
That's why community Bible study is good for anybody.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I just saw, about to get kicked off the radio for news here. So, but
thank you.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
And like I say, come on out again next week, the 27th. Come on out 6 p.m. for classes, and then Wednesday morning at 9:30 here, all at Christ Church here in Roswell.
Yes.
So, thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank
We'll
you.
See you again soon.
Okay.
All right, is closing in on 8 o'clock. Can I work in one ad? I can. We're going to do one ad before news. Don't go away.
dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
For vice president.
On the second to last night of the Democratic National Convention, the former high school teacher and football coach made it official.
It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
Walz used his acceptance speech to talk about his small-town upbringing, his family, and his pride in being Kamala Harris's running mate.
She's fought on the side of the American people.
He said Democrats have something better to offer than Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, promising middle-class tax cuts, lower prescription drug prices, and access to abortion. Greg Clugston at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
Former President Trump and running mate J.D. Vance stomping in North Carolina yesterday. Vance saying the Republican campaign is all about
hope that we can reignite this economy and bring back prosperity to American citizens. Hope that we can raise our kids in secure neighborhoods and safe streets. Hope that we can renew the patriotism that binds us as a country together, one nation under God.
There are reports that third-party candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will be dropping his White House bid shortly and will be throwing his support behind Donald Trump. Close to 1 million fewer jobs created in the past year than previously claimed by the Biden-Harris administration. That's according to revised numbers out from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Both of Canada's major freight railroads have come to a full stop. The result of a contract dispute with their workers could affect supply chains both in Canada and in the U.S. Wall Street, the Dow is up 11 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
China upset about a New York meeting between the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader and White House and State Department officials.
The Dalai Lama fled to India 65 years ago after a failed Tibetan uprising against Chinese rule. The government in Beijing considers the 89-year-old Nobel Peace Prize winner a dangerous separatist. He's been in New York since June for medical treatment. It's provided an opportunity for a relatively rare meeting with U.S. officials on American soil. According to the State Department, the officials reaffirmed U.S. support for the resumption of a long-stalled dialogue between China and the Dalai Lama. Last month, Beijing condemned a new U.S. law that presses China to resolve the dispute over Tibet's demands for greater autonomy.
That's a BBC's Grant Ferret. Floodwaters have swamped parts of India and Bangladesh, resulting in at least 15 deaths, tens of thousands chased out of their homes. News and analysis, townhall.com. The number of Americans filing for jobless benefits rose modestly last week.
The Labor Department says jobless claims rose by 4,000 to 232,000 for the week ending August 17th. The 4-week average of claims ticked down by 750 to 236,000. For the week ending August 10th, 1.86 million Americans were collecting jobless benefits, 4,000 more than the week before.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House. A former Democratic politician has told a Nevada jury that he did not kill a Las Vegas investigative journalist who had written articles that were critical of him. Robert Tellis took the witness stand in his murder trial yesterday, saying that he's been waiting 2 years to tell his side of the story. He'll be cross-examined today by prosecutors. Again on Wall Street this hour, the Nasdaq 53 points higher, while the S&P is up 13 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Oh, deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
Almost there.
The day before it all goes down.
That's right. Football Friday tomorrow night. Got it all for you right here on the radio and on live streaming video.
And the New Mexico Military Institute volleyball tournament this weekend.
That's right, NMMI. Again, you can watch that at KSVPTV.com. We'll have our NMMI Bronco channel there that you can watch volleyball at.
You know what's funny? Some of them, not all of them, but some of the cadets, alumni, people who are associated with the Institute, they do not like it when you call them NIMI.
No, they don't. No,
in general, they just do not like.
No, NIMI is an incorrect.
It is, but it's
easy.
It's just the short term that we all learn.
But
you know?
people, it's NMMI or New Mexico Military Institute or the Institute. But NIMI is with people outside. And people inside them.
Yeah, it's. Oh, you're not one of us then. Okay.
One of us.
It's what do they call it? What's the new term that everybody's using? It's a dog whistle. Have you heard that? So it's like when you say something that like indicates that you are a certain way or not a certain way or not a part of a group. Like a lot of people would say that, you know, like the whole CRT thing was a dog whistle.
Okay.
But
I've never heard that term.
Same thing with, you know, the Institute. If you call it NIMI, oh, that's just a dog whistle. You're not one of us.
Interesting.
It's one of those Urban Dictionary terms.
I gotta be honest. I feel like the dog whistle is the quicksand of whistles.
We heard a lot about them growing up, but you just don't really see them out there in public.
I've never really actually seen them in effect. Like they say, only the dog's here. Great, but what does it do? The dog heard it. Now
it catches their attention.
Well, so does it. Hey, dog, come here.
Hey, dog, come here. Yeah.
Just saying. I mean,
but I think it's more like she's probably a dog expert, but I would think it's more like at the more high-end dog training academies.
Might possibly.
Because you're trying to maintain prim and properness, and you don't want to be like, buddy, get down there.
I don't know. I just think I feel like it's just this like really doing. I mean, do we really use them?
I like the sentence. The dog whistle is the quicksand of the whistle community.
Like, to be honest, there's another thing I have an issue with. The boomerang. Like, let's be honest. You throw this stick, it comes back to you. But I've never actually seen people use a boomerang for an intended purpose other than to throw the stick and come back at you.
I've owned 2 boomerangs over the course of my life.
Yeah.
Never once thrown a boomerang.
Now, I've seen them, and I've seen, like, Australians and people that know how to work them, and they come back, but, like, that's all fine and dandy, but this is for, like, hunting and stuff. How does it work in that way? I've yet to see anyone actually use it for a function other than, I made it come back to me.
I think that if you're using it in a hunting scenario, you're using it more like like a shuriken. You're not hoping for it to come back. You're hoping for it to strike whatever you're trying to strike down.
Then what's the point of it coming back?
Well, it comes back if it doesn't hit anything.
Oh.
So it's like fishing. You're casting your net, and if it doesn't come back to you, I think I just got something. Let's go exploring.
I call that get better aim. That's what I call that.
But then what happens is, you just run into like a bear that just got knocked out, not dead, but just knocked out.
Yeah, he's just like, why'd you hit me with this stick?
The heck, dude!
I don't get it. I mean,
it's a skill. It's definitely a skill set
to look at. It's all sounds good and fun, but I'm like, is this effective for anything? I mean, honestly,
I would imagine that like boomerangs of yesteryear had like attachments, things to like make it more deadly,
like a Swiss Army boomerang.
Like a Swiss Army, yeah, exactly. This one's got a wine opener.
I got a toothpick.
But I mean, because it's just it's a piece of essentially balsa wood. I couldn't imagine it would inflict that much damage.
Yeah.
It might just be. I mean, maybe it's not a hunting thing. Maybe it was just a toy.
Well, they get pretty solid. Like I remember when I went when I was a teenager and see them there in the stores.
Yeah,
they're pretty
a solid thing. I will say this: whenever you see somebody throw one, they put a lot of mustard on that throw. I mean, it's like a certain
there's a technique
downward
to it. Yeah.
Swipe thing you got.
I literally spent 30 minutes out in the field out there trying to throw one around. I could never get that thing to come back to me. At best, it kind of curved a little bit back, but never to where it's like.
Yep. Do you know what they're great for? Hitting your sister. Fantastic for that.
That's why she's in Oklahoma and I'm here in Mexico.
I'm making it up to one concert a year, for the next 30 consecutive.
But I just never got those. So, but
they're fun. I mean, I don't understand the concept necessarily.
Yeah. I did. But I know, like, if you know what you're doing with them, they are effective. I've never seen that anyone actually do that.
Right.
I've heard claims.
Most of what comes out of Australia makes very little sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegemite, the boomerang, the camel spider, ray gun.
Camel spider.
Very little of it makes sense.
Camel spider's more in Asia, like Middle East.
Yeah, but the camel spiders that they have in Australia are hubcap size.
By the way, there's only one continent on the planet that is home to all 7 types of poisonous snakes on the planet. And Australia is that continent.
It is. It is indeed.
Like even in North America, there's a couple we're missing. Australia got them.
The whole continent was started as a prison. I mean, it was bad news from the get-go, and things haven't gotten a lot better. I mean, sure, it's pretty.
Yeah. Well, and
Bluey comes from there. There's that.
Yeah. Well, and I said everyone lives on the coasts. Because the middle's out back in desert. It's so everyone lives on mostly East Coast, but there's a few on the West Coast. Perth is the big city on the West Coast. Anyway, let's break away from dogs and boomerangs.
Yes.
And talk about local dogs. Actually, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll do the weather and all that. It's gonna be hot. And then we're gonna have from the DA's office. We're gonna have, of course, Jeannie Yeager, the DA dog lady. That's what I like to call her. But she's gonna join us here. They talk about that. And then Justin Dominguez, lead investigator for the DA's office, will join us here in just a few. So we'll get an update from them. Talk a little bit about some fundraising and events they've got planned for for the DA dog program. That's all nonprofit very much, and it's a really great program. We've talked about it here on the show, so we'll get updates from them on all of that stuff here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll have the newses of the local variety, Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Yes, sir.
And I think that should cover it. I think we should do the weather now.
Yeah.
And if you heard last hour's weather,
not much has changed.
No, there's hope next week. Like, I'm a little excited.
Now, when you say hope, are we talking about hope in the form of double digits or hope in the form of like less than 90?
Yes, and rain.
Okay. All right. Bring it
Sub
on.
100 and rain chances for at least the first half of next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Of course, that could change tomorrow, but as of today, they're saying there's a chance. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Be careful out in the heat today. We're headed for about 105 on the afternoon high. Upper level high pressure in the Texas Panhandle is covering our area. Sunshine through the day, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds drifting through. We're in the mid 70s and then near 105 for the afternoon high again on Friday and sunny. Low 100s on Saturday, upper 90s on Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 80. We're already at 80 here in Roswell, 8:14 in the a.m. We're at 80. Yeah. Humidity's at 28%. Winds are calm at the moment. They have issued another heat advisory for today to kick in at noon through 8 p.m. to remind you it's going to be hot today. 106 our expected high with west winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, 73 for an overnight low with south winds 5 to 15. Friday, 105 for a high tomorrow with winds out of the west 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 73 for an overnight low. Winds out of the south 10 to 15. So we'll be warm out at football tomorrow night, too. Saturday, 102 for a high here in Roswell. South winds 5 to 15. Partly cloudy Saturday night, 72 for an overnight low. Sunday, we're looking at highs right around 100 under sunny skies. And then Monday, and I'm looking through at least Wednesday of next week, and good prospects on the horizon here. This is what they're saying for Monday. 20% chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, 97 for a high. Monday night, 30% chance of rain, 69 for an overnight low, so we'll be below 70 for an overnight low. It's been a while since we've had that. Tuesday, 20% chance of rain with a high of 95. 20% chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 94 and upper 60s for overnight low Tuesday night and Wednesday. So maybe, just maybe, we're starting to see a bit of a respite next week here from this heat. Knocking on wood. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk with the DA's office on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
So your trees are turning yellow. You scratch your head and think to yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is Shirley from Roswell Seed. If Jim were here, he'd tell you all about something he called monkey blood. It's a powder that turns a deep red when you mix it with water. You pour it on the ground under your tree's drip line, and in a few weeks, they'll be healthy and green once again.
So when things aren't green, just ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do? Then head down to Roswell Seed Company and find out.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, judge yourself so you won't be judged. It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the District Attorney's Office, of course, I was going to say the dog lady, the DA dog lady, Jeannie Yeager back with us. And, of course, lead investigator Justin Dominguez as well. Good morning. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. Yes, joking aside, but yes, that's Gina's, that's what you're known as now, the dog lady, the DA dog lady. Of course, and you know what, I forgot to introduce when Beaumont is here as well. Bobo, he's kind of on the floor, resting between feet right now. So.
Yes, he is here.
Excellent. So I guess, people are like, maybe let's go ahead and tell folks a little bit about what the DA Dog program. This is an awesome program that really started right out of this judicial district here. And it's hopefully growing and to be a mainstay in district attorney's offices across the country at some point.
We are trying. I mean, we're very, very lucky with the leadership we have.
Mm-hmm.
Diana's very gung ho. Go for it. Let's keep these dogs going. That she knows they're a great asset for our office. This is our second generation. The program started in 2014.
Okay.
With Janetta Hicks, and then it just carried on. Luckily, because we figured out that Santa Fe was not going to help pay for food, vet care, and stuff like that.
No funding from the state.
No. We got a step ahead and figured out that we needed a nonprofit to keep this program going.
And that's exactly what you did.
And I did. Yes, we did. We got some handlers that are like, let's do this. We'll help. The other district attorney's offices in the state of New Mexico get the grants for the first dog. And then realize, okay, now that we have this dog, how stuff can get paid for.
Sure.
They get a one-time program and they don't do it again. There's been, unfortunately, a couple of DA's offices that have had to stop their program.
Because the funding ran
Which is
dry.
awful for victims and witnesses because it's a great program.
Well, I'd almost think it might even be worse to start it and then stop it than to not have it at all.
Yeah,
almost,
it's this program is really amazing, and the people in our community know that we have the dogs, and so it's kind of like, oh, the dogs. We don't care about anybody else, but they want the dogs, which is great. Great.
You know what? I get it because I like dogs more than people sometimes. I ain't gonna block.
It's true. So,
so for folks not familiar, the DA Dog program is this is to help victims. So when the district attorney's office needs to say interview, gather information, things like that, and they're dealing with people, especially if it's a family, domestic violence, but it's in all cases, and anytime they're trying to get evidence from a victim or a witness here, the dogs create normalcy in the room because generally these are tense moments. Depending on the nature of the crimes we're talking about here, it could be very traumatizing and things like that. And so, especially when there's kids involved or young people, the dogs create normalcy. They create love in the room. So when people that are maybe under a little bit of emotional duress, but we need their story. We need them to talk.
They're excellent icebreakers.
Yeah,
they're like, hi guys, we're here, we love you. I mean, everybody else in the room, they're just like standoffish too, but the dogs, for the most part, are greeters.
Yeah, the dogs don't judge. They're everybody's friends.
They love everybody. They're like you said, they don't judge. They don't care.
They're the love beacon in the room.
You can tell them anything, and it's not going to get repeated.
Yeah. And here's the thing: we're getting great success.
Yes.
Getting victims to open up to actually, give their side, so actual justice is getting served. We can prosecute these people because we're getting good testimonies. We're getting good evidence. And it makes guys like Justin's job a whole lot easier when they can do those.
So the state of New Mexico really sucks when it comes to children testifying. They make them get on the stand in front of the accused that have done stuff to them.
And that's not intimidating at all, is it?
Not at all. I mean, in some cases, video is done, but not very often. Most of the time, they want them in the room. They want that intimidation.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can pick apart on a video. So they tended to lean away from that.
So they bring these little guys in, and so they're in this really big box in this really big room with all these people staring at them.
Very intimidating.
And, you've got this big guy in a robe or a female in a robe, and then you've got all these strangers, and then you've got the person that hurt you staring at you, and all these big people asking these big questions with big words.
And let's face it, when you were kids, did it get hard to get adults to believe you? It's just when you're a kid, you're just a kid. They don't know what they're talking about. And now when you're in a room full of adults, and one of them did something very bad to you, and you've got to tell people this person did bad. And that's an intimidating world, and something like Bobo coming in to just feel these folks at ease. That's the difference. That's the reassurance that so they know that the judge and all the other people are on their side. They need a familiarity, and that dog provides that.
Well, I mean, luckily these dogs give them some confidence and some support, and knowing that somebody's got their back, somebody's going to be right there with them. Luckily, we've been really fortunate with our program to be able to use the dogs in the box for some adults too. I mean, depending on the case.
Yeah, I mean, we gear it for children,
right?
But dogs do work on adults too.
Yeah. But we give certain commands to the people that are working with the dog, so they can get the dog in the box, get them settled, and then sit there and they hold the leash, and they work their magic. I mean, they just sit there and they have something in their hand, and they have somebody that's actually listening and doing something they need them to do. They have control. A lot of these people that come into our offices don't have any control. We're saying, we need you to do this. The person that hurt them is telling them, you will do this. They get the dog and they tell the dog to do something, and it's kind of like, oh, I can actually have somebody listen to me, and they start standing stronger, and they get that confidence, and it builds.
Sense. Yeah, you're right. Yes. Absolutely. And so that's why this program is so important, because A, it's humane, and it's bringing love into an unloving situation, but it's also allowing justice to be served. It's allowing the prosecutors, the investigators, to get the information they need so that these people that are doing wrongdoing can actually serve the time that they're supposed to for these things.
We get the truth.
Yeah, and that's what this does. And to be honest, I'm going to guess too that there's some victims that we're going to go down some dark places, and maybe these dogs put them on the path to recovery, if that makes sense, where they brought them out of their dark place to where, because that's you're dealing with, especially depending on the nature of this abuse or whatever was going on, sometimes it takes a lot to walk back from that. A lot of therapy, a lot of road to recovery. And sometimes a dog in the room rubbing up on your leg and just loving on you is cracks some of that armor a little bit to do that.
And each one of our dogs has a different personality. Like Beaumont is very laid back. He will lay at your feet. He will just kind of let you use him as a pillow.
Sure. He's got the body for it.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the big head.
He's the squishy.
He's built for pillow.
Yes. We have Kiki, who is like, hey guys, I love you. I'm here. She's got that big bubbly personality.
And your 4 dogs, I know at least most of them are labs, but they're
all labs.
And generally labs that's just their nature. They're family dogs. They're that's their temperament is very, just generally experience. Labs are just those dogs that feel like they're, like sometimes like a lab's in your lap, and it's like, I think this thing's read my soul.
Yes. Well, and these guys, where we get them from Santa Fe Assistance Dogs of the West, they're bred specific for this type of work.
Gotcha.
Beaumont is dual purpose. He's crisis response and courtroom work.
So he can handle a couple.
He can handle. Tasks. I mean, he can handle one person, and he can handle a room full.
Okay.
We have dogs that we take out for crisis response for small events. They don't do as well for long term, but they can handle a room.
Dogs are just like people. Each one's got a different personality, and some excel, and some are social, some aren't. But obviously, these dogs are all trained a certain way. But like you said, they all have different personalities. So some are going to be better at this, and maybe not so good at this.
Yeah.
And so that's.
And Tina's a very friendly dog too. She likes to greet people and everything. Duke, is he kind of like, hi guys, I'm here, and he gets pretty mellow too. Sure. So they're all.
And I imagine age comes into play here. Like as they're younger, younger dogs, puppies, they're more energy, they're bouncy. As they get, 5, 6, 7, they start settling down a little bit. And like I know your dogs, like most of these are born 2018, so most of these are a little bit more adult senior dogs now.
Beaumont was always mellow though.
Okay.
He was always kind of like, I'm here, so walk in a room, chill. But I mean, he gets his go-go's every once in a while, but he's always been chill. But the other guys. they're their welcoming committee, and so I mean, Beaumont welcomes people too, but not like the other guys. They're just so like
Beaumont, because he did it to me just as I walked in. I was like, "Hey, buddy!" He gets up, the tail's just a wagging enough to where it's shifting the whole back side of the dog. That's a lab thing. They don't wag the tail; they wag the whole back half of the body.
Yeah, and they all want to sit in your lap. They want to be right there on you, loving you. But
labs forget they're 100-pound dogs. And they're not lap
they're
dogs.
little tiny things, but each one of them does amazing work. So we're really proud of our program.
Well, and that's just it. And they're in the room, and this is what's so great about it. And this is why. And like you said earlier, they're not getting state funding for this. No. This is, to be honest, we should be investing tons of money into this. You know, the mental health, the money, or the you know, these lawsuits with the opioids and all. I know there's certain caveats. I feel like money should be, I don't know how that earmarks, but this should be invested in this stuff. This is exactly what this is for, mental health, and this is exactly what these dogs are. It's part of mental health, but it's also allowing victims to be heard. It's allowing cases to get justice, to allow, you know, granted, New Mexico has created enough, you know, issues. You know, you get guy in jail, even a murder is out the next day half the time in this state. That's just the way things happen.
We have no comment on that.
I know you guys do, but you're also, I can say a little more than you can because I'm a civilian. But and so we got enough of that going on. Let's focus on the things we know are working and we know are going to do good. And quite frankly, I would argue if we invest more time and money into every single district attorney's office in this country on this thing, I'm going to say we're going to see an uptick in cases that are getting convicted, people serving real time. Dare I say, maybe even a deterrent and less people doing crime because more people are getting thrown in jail and being prosecuted.
We're hoping that's working. I know that that the United States has a lot of DAs that are doing this program, and you know they get the grants and stuff. The grants are hard to come by. You got to know how to do that.
Well, I imagine too, it's anything in government's glacial, and unless you've got 37 doctors and everybody saying this is for, you know, people are going to be like, well, is this really a good program or are we just wasting money? And I'm telling you, there's been, like you said, there's 10, 15 years of results right here in Roswell.
Yes.
You know, take that times 1,000 around the country.
And, you know, we get loaned out, like I've said before, we've always gotten loaned out to other DA's offices that need the program, and they've heard about it and they've heard the success, and so they want to see it. So we get loaned out, which is great because then they see what it does, and then they put their wheels in motion.
Yeah, that's why you'll see the dogs at the library from when they do the story time because you know dogs are celebrities. That's what they are now. They walk into the room. They're the center of attention.
Yes.
That's how it works, and as it should be. But and that's just it. They make appearances like like celebrities. They go make appearances and do their thing and bring joy to kids in different rooms and things like that.
And they're doing peer support for our coworkers. Some law enforcement, you know, their peer support for wherever we needed. Because when we have bad cases and stuff, not only do our victims absorb all of that, but the people that work the cases absorb that. So sometimes they need the dog just to decompress.
Absolutely. It's like, can I borrow Bo for a bit?
Yeah.
Because I need to take him to the park or something.
The dogs do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't get out there a lot. I mean,
well, I mean, if you're a pet owner, think about your own life. How many times you had a bad day at work or a bad day, and you come home and your dog or cat or whatever is there in your lap, and next thing you know, your problem. That's what they do.
Yes.
And they're doing that in these courtrooms and in these chambers as they're interviewing these folks and stuff. This is what they do, and it works every time.
Yes.
There is no. It always works. The dogs come in the room and things de-escalate. That's just what happens.
I mean, and we think that certain people need the dog, and when they walk in the room, they find the person that needs the dog. And I've learned over the years to let the dog decide who needs him or her. And
dogs are way more intuitive than human beings are.
The person that we're thinking that they need to gravitate to is not the person they go to. So it's been interesting to watch.
Well, and that's just it. We're learning more with it's like I see videos all the time or like people that are having maybe a diabetic episode or something, and the dog senses it before it happens and gets them the medicine and stuff. There's something, and this is what they're doing. It's same thing. I don't know the science behind it, but I'm sure the same, instincts that alert them that kind of stuff are the same instincts that are saying, hey, I'm sensing problems. And cats are the same way. Like I always hear cats will, like they can tell when someone's sick and they're doing. I mean, animals are amazing like that. And why not tap into that ability here? Where humans' best friend are dogs. Let's let them do the abilities that we can't, and let them enhance this kind of stuff.
And I don't think I could do my job without a dog anymore. I mean, I've had a dog since 2014.
I bet you like there's days where you're like, this is gonna be it, but at least I got a dog. I mean, because it kind of makes your job better. Like all the time, you got a cool dog hanging out with you.
Most of the time, every once in a while, I'm like, okay, somebody please come get this dog. I
Beaumont's
can't
like
dog
your family
today.
dog, right? Like Beaumont's with you 24/7.
He's with me 24/7.
Like when he goes home at night to punch out, he's going to your house.
Yeah. And there's days where he's like, I can't do Gina today, so somebody else please come get me because she's a lot.
Y'all had I've had too much of her today.
Just like being a married couple.
Sure,
it's like, okay, you need to go
absolutely.
somewhere else for the day.
Sure.
So,
well, I'm curious. Like, is Beaumont at home different than Beaumont on the job? Like, does he act different?
he's very cuddly with me at home.
Sure.
But every once in a while, he'll get, like I said, he'll get really rambunctious, and he's been known to knock over recliners. I know.
Well,
he's a shock because he doesn't move very much.
He's not. Grace is not a word I would use.
No, and
to
he's
describe Beaumont.
he's just a big boy, and he hits something, and it's just like. But he'll get the zoomies, and he'll rearrange mattresses, and he'll jump up on the bed and slide, and then.
And he's what, about 6, something like that, 6 or 8? Oh, no, he was 2016. That's right there.
Yeah.
So 8. Yeah.
So he's like
he's middle aged. He's still got another.
He's got a lot of miles on him.
Yeah.
He's worked a lot. This guy's worked a lot.
Yeah.
So
what's and this is something else I want to. While we're talking dogs here, just to give people perspective, cost wise, to find a dog like Beaumont, to put Beaumont through the training, and to put Beaumont in the field. What average cost on average? What is that per dog? What's that a cost?
So to get a dog like Beaumont, the dog itself, fully trained, is almost $13,000.
See, this is what we're talking about. And so we have 4 dogs.
4
So
dogs.
That's almost $100,000 worth of, if you want to put it in those kind of terms, worth of property walking around.
So
right
to
here.
get a program started for kennel and food and equipment and everything you need for your home and your office, it's up to $50,000.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And luckily, with our communities that we have, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do that.
Yeah, and this is why we ask you, the public, to get out. You know, there's you guys are constantly doing. You have your golf tournament, various other fundraisers. That's why we want to put these on your radar, because when you participate in that, you're supporting this. You're helping victims in Chavez County and around southeast New Mexico. It's way bigger than Chavez County.
Yes, we have a big area.
Yes, but you are helping people in your backyard, and you're finding resolution for people. And that's, let's just face it, these dogs bring love and life to people that's worlds have come shattered.
Yes,
and that's what's going on here. And they're coming in and trying to pick up the pieces. To get the evidence to prosecute. But at the same time, this is part of rebuilding that foundation, rebuilding those connections, making sure this human being that's been a victim can reconnect with life again. And that dog plays a very big role in that.
And they become lifelong friends to the dogs. When we have the couple events that are coming up, we have the fair. And the fair is one of my favorite ones. We have our booth out there.
Yeah.
And that's more of us kind of
because the dogs come out from time to time. You can hang and meet and
people always are like, so tell me about so a lot of people still don't know about the dogs, which shocks me because, I constantly feel like I'm constantly telling everybody, the dogs.
I know how you feel, because I've literally said things 100 times. What's this thing? I was like, I just said it 2 seconds ago.
And then we have people that are like, oh my God, I remember this dog. He came to the school, or he was at the library, or, he helped me. And I'm like, it makes my heart realize what we're doing. Because
you get to see the impact that these programs are doing on these.
And it reminds you that you are helping make a difference with these guys, and that it's not going unnoticed. So it's amazing. But we do that, and that's always fun to hear that those words come back. That are
proof
great.
in the pudding.
Yes.
It's proof that. Because let's face it, every single person in your office has those days where you feel like you're spinning your wheels and are you getting anything done. It's just the nature of the district attorney's office.
Yes.
Because you see the best in humanity and the worst in humanity all at the same time at your day-to-day job. That's just the nature of what you guys do. And so anytime we can bring that love and beauty back into these people's world. And at the same time, I mean, it's such a big deal. This is something as simple as loving on a dog and letting you hug on a dog's neck for a few minutes, and just, you don't understand how that can fix things or give people the courage, strength, and desire to take the next step and make their life better again.
I mean, we have a lot of behind the scenes people, which is the peer support that I was talking about. You know, we have the assistants and we have the investigators and we have the advocates, you know, that the attorneys are the ones that are, of course, that are out there, and, you know, their names are the ones that are brought out. But there's so many people behind the scenes that are doing this work and have all that stuff built up. So the dogs are helping our offices as well.
I was about to say, I imagine there's days where Justin or some of the DAs are like, I'm having a day. And then they go in there and hang out with Beaumont for 5 minutes. Like, all right, we're good. Let's go do this. I'm sure just there's a day you've been trying to hunt a piece of information or someone down or just have an issue, and you walk into her office or something, and there's the dog, and you're sitting there just petting. And
Justin gets to work with Duke, so Duke's got a big personality.
Oh, so you're a Duke boy. All right. no judging. They're all good here. They're all love.
They're good.
No, I've said it before, and I'll say it every time I get the opportunity. You know, our victims advocates and our individuals that take on the role as handlers for the canine program are some of the single most important people that we have in this judicial district out of the entire district-wide. I imagine
office. There's things where you hit dead ends in your investigations, and those dogs open those doors for you.
You know, I think, you know, talking about the program and how it's important, to, you know, that people reach into their pockets and help fund this, you know, this nonprofit. There's a lot of ways to donate, and there's a lot of ways to look at helping people, you know, and I'm not saying don't donate to those groups, you know, but this is a way that can directly impact where you live, where you stay, and where you see. Really, this is an opportunity to see this. To see where your donations are having a direct impact on your community. Absolutely. That's why, you know, nonprofits like these are so very important.
And God forbid you ever come at a point in your life where maybe those dogs might come and make your day a lot better too. I hope to God it never does, but if it does happen, they're going to be there. And it's thanks to people like you that support the program.
So as a matter of fact, next week I go for my second interview for a successor dog.
Okay.
Which will be my third dog.
Okay. What's generally the service period for a dog? It's about 6-8 years, or what's about?
It'll depend. I mean, health
of the dog, obviously.
The health of the dog, the work of the dog. Like Beaumont's going to still work, but he's not going to do as much of the hardcore stuff.
He's going to go a little more part-time.
He's going to be doing more greeter and more like, I'm not going to have to go in the courtroom, but I'm going to be there to see you and talk to you.
Beaumont's had some promotions. He's earned he can now sit back and let the youngins do some of the heavy lifting.
So he gets to be the greeter and just like the love bug that everybody. Yeah, I'm just going to be there.
I walk in the room and you say, "Come love me."
Yeah. So I figure Beaumont's been working. We got him, I want to say in 2017. That doesn't sound right. I think it's been before that, maybe 2017.
Okay.
In December, the week of Aztec shooting, we got him. I got him. I was training with him, and we got called out.
Okay.
So, and he's been called out. We've been called out since then. So he's done a lot of traveling and a lot of crisis response and then courtroom work. And
so Beaumont's good to ride in cars and stuff.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he just sleeps. He does he's
not exactly he's pretty even keeled. You know, like there could be all kinds of excitement. That dog would probably just be like, man, that's crazy. And just look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got that personality. It's like when there's the big storm going on, he's the calm in the storm.
Like, whatever. Why are y'all stressed out? It's not a big deal.
Absolutely.
But this new dog, luckily, Leprino gave us a grant for some of the money, and then the prices went up. So we're still raising funds for raising funds for the extra on this dog.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like you gave me the cards here a while back, and that's something. If you ever get these, look at them, because on the bottom, you know, like you said, La Tienda. There's so many different businesses and organizations, farmers. The College Garden Animal Hospital, Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, Double J Animal Hospital, Tractor Supply, Precious Pups, Parrot Head Properties, Roswell. I mean, these are all businesses that have sponsored and supported our DA dogs. And thanks to businesses like this, we have this program.
Yeah, this program doesn't exist without all of those individuals and others, that
absolutely
others that aren't mentioned that are so gracious with their donations, and we appreciate them all. And it's imperative that they continue to help us with this program, because without the community, this program does not exist.
Absolutely. So that being said, now if you want to get involved here, please, money, financially. I know we got some events coming up. That's a good way to help. But maybe you want to sponsor, like you said, we got a few of our dogs are about ready to transition to a quieter
Different
life
art.
here.
Yeah, quieter life.
And so we're probably going to need some more sponsors to sponsor. Like you said, it's about $13,000 a piece for one of these dogs to cost to train, groom, get ready to do its job.
And we have some amazing, like the vets. All the vets have stepped up. La Cueva in Carlsbad. Here, Country Club Animal Hospital is now on board.
Excellent.
And then we have Double J in Hobbs. So each county has their own vet that has amazingly stepped up and helped us, which is, that's an expense. That's a big expense. And then like Tractor Supply and Roswell Livestock with the food. These guys eat. So
there's a reason there's no pet insurance, healthcare insurance,
yes.
like yourself now.
Yes.
I remember my dog Sissy. I'd gotten a tumor removed and all that, and it was $1,000 to get that thing. I was like, for a dog, and
but these guys are not just dogs. They're
they're
very,
living, loving members of the family. Well, that's my
family.
Sissy too.
Yeah.
But that's why I paid
$1,000. You're going to do it.
But part of me was like, man, that's not.
But we do have a couple events coming up for fundraisers. The big one is the golf tournament.
Yes, that's kind of your tentpole main source for income right now.
That has turned in. We started it last year, so we've turned. This is going to be our big fundraiser. It's kind of like this is going to be our main focus. So we have that coming up October 19th.
Okay. So it should be nice and not hot by then.
Yeah. So that's going to be our big one. We have some sponsors that are on board right now, and we're still looking for sponsors and players.
So it would be best just to maybe call the DA's office if you'd like to sponsor?
Ask for Gina.
I think if you could probably go to the NMMI Pro Shop if you want to play and sign up a team or individually, you can go right there. But if you want to be a sponsor, might be best to contact Gina directly here at the DA's office.
You can reach out there. We have the Facebook page for the dogs.
Yeah.
So if you guys reach out through that.
And I'm sure during the tournament, the dogs
will be there.
Make appearances.
They will be there,
weather permitting, of course,
for pictures with the teams. And I'm hoping. I think Tina's going to be here, and I'm hoping Duke will come down so we can get all 4 dogs together for pictures.
The whole team together.
The whole team together.
Maybe we can get them in like superhero outfits.
Oh, that would be
Justice
cool.
League, the 4 of them together. Put them in there, Superman and Batman or whatever costume.
That would be fun.
Someone get the short straw that gets Aquaman.
Right.
Sorry about
right.
That. But please, sign up for the tournament, please. Or you guys do have Facebook and all that, and you can reach out. And if you want to make a donation, say, hey, I heard you on the radio, I love it. Here's $100, here's $1,000, whatever. All of it helps because, like you said, this is and please. I also throw this in your caveat. Every time you see your legislators, your people, now I'm sure most of the folks around here are very supportive of the program and fighting Santa Fe. It's other avenues that are hitting there. But tell your legislators, invest money into this. When they go in January to go find out who's spending all of our money and where to put it, tell them they need to earmark money for these kinds of programs. This is the stuff that fixes the problems we're having in the state.
And I want to throw this out because Southeast New Mexico, which is the 5th is Chavez, Eddy, and Lee. We have the most concentration of dogs for our district than Northern New Mexico has for each of their districts. So Diana Luce has really been the backbone of this and saying, yes, do this. We need to keep this
she's
program.
The champion of this program.
She is, and she fights for us, and she keeps trying to get this because other attorneys' offices don't have the nonprofit. They're trying to figure it out. So we have been talking to Santa Fe. But if we could get, our people here in Southeast New Mexico have been really supportive, but we need them to push more so that other counties in the southern part of the state can keep their dogs.
Well, I think it should be a point where they invest to where the state actually houses the program, where they have some camp or somewhere in the state where they're raising and training these dogs. And in essence, DA's office put an order in like food and say, hey, I need a dog.
Right.
And they got one groomed and here we go. And we come down and you meet the handlers and do all that needs to be done. But I feel like the state should be that should be something we invest in is a facility that trains these dogs to to where every DA in the state can have 2 or 3 as needed.
I think theirs is as important as a laptop to me.
Absolutely.
I mean, I get more from my dogs than I can get from my
can't imagine
laptop
from
sometimes.
Justin's perspective, there's probably been so many roadblocks you've hit that these dogs have put out the way or moved those roadblocks out of your way to get whatever you need to get.
It's again, I just can't say enough about the program or the handlers, and I think that's the other part of it is the handlers volunteer. It's not an incentive. It's not a pay raise. It's not. I mean, it's a labor of love. They do it because they believe in the program also, and they see firsthand how it affects and helps our communities. So I think obviously we love the canines themselves and can't speak highly enough about them, but also the people aspect of that and the handlers and what they take on, the responsibilities they take on as a handler to care and
you just got a child to take care of, basically.
As great of a job as the canines do for our community, they can't drive there.
Nope.
They can't bathe themselves. They can't feed themselves. They can't get themselves to their appointments. So I don't think enough can be said about the program, the canines, or the handlers that volunteer their time. And I think people, they probably get a pay incentive to do this. No, they don't.
No,
they volunteer.
They do get
to
an incentive. It's the love of that dog 24/7.
Absolutely.
That's the payoff.
Absolutely.
That is the true payoff. They've got a companion.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure Gina would not trade in her deal for anything in the world to hang out with Beaumont.
Sure.
Yeah. That's because and that's the thing, because I imagine for you, it's your mental health too. You have bad days just like everybody else, and I bet Beaumont's your cure sometimes. And there's a day where you and Beaumont are in the living room just hugging it out or whatever, and just, you know what I mean?
So for most, if we're not in quarter, if we're not running around, he's usually right under my desk by my feet. So I have my feet rubbing on him. So I know he's there, and he knows that I know that he's there. So it's constant. We're constantly touching each other.
Yeah.
It's like,
but I imagine that's your motivation. That's your drive too. There's days where you're like, oh, and then there's Beaumont to spur you on there.
Yeah. He really helps me continue to do what I do.
And that's probably what you get out of it. And like you said, these people don't get extra pay, and it's a lot of response because now you've incorporated your job into your whole life because that dog
doesn't stop at 5.
Yeah, exactly. That dog still needs to eat, still needs to live, still needs to be taken care of. And guess what? That's you. You're its parent. You're its mommy and daddy when it's not at the office punched in.
And when they're not feeling good, you're like, okay, I've got to take care of this dog.
Sure.
So I got to do. But the
you're
dog,
the first line of defense
it's like,
there.
okay, here we go.
You know that dog better than anyone.
Yeah.
You know the personality. You know when the dog's having a bad day or ate something it didn't like. You can tell real quick.
We have some amazing handlers that, like I said, most of them are victim advocates, but we have some other people in our office that are handlers as well to help out. And it's all volunteer, like Justin said. We don't get paid more. It's kind of like, oh, you will do this, and you will.
But I imagine that it
pays off in the long run. It pays off in the long run.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'd love to. You get a dog all the time, and dogs are amazing.
But it's interesting, and they make you like you were talking about the potty breaks and stuff. It makes you stop and be like, okay, I've got to step away from my desk.
That's a good point too, because if it's just you abuse yourself.
Yeah.
And now you can't. When you got a dog here, it's like, I got to stop.
I got to stop. I've got to take care of things.
So you're probably a healthier person.
He's my reminder to take a breath.
Absolutely. So please reach out, support, and you know what? Especially if there's folks, I imagine there's families that probably have already seen the amazing works of these dogs and maybe have their own personal experiences. Please know that. Share. Obviously not the details of your case, but please share with people that impact that those dogs had on your life and how it positively gave you resolution in a very bad situation. Share that, but please support financially if you come out to the fair here. I know that's in October, but it's not that far away.
No.
Make sure you visit the commercial building and hit up the DA dog booth and come meet the dogs. Hopefully you're on a day where they're there and you can support that way, and then sign up for the golf tournament. Again, come call the DA's office or go to the NMMI Pro Shop and get signed
no
up
amount
there.
is too little. That's another thing we hear is I don't have $100 to give, but even if you have $5, if 10 people give $5, that's $50. You know what I mean?
Every cent counts.
Well, $5 will buy a toy.
Yeah.
And they like their toys.
Absolutely.
So.
It brings a
no amount is too small.
No.
Absolutely. And it's many hands. This is until we can finally get our legislators and people to open up the books to put actual government funding into this. This is how we're going to have it done. And to be honest, we can make it better if we get it. It's sometimes when it's just people doing it, you can get big results. And sometimes the red tape of government bureaucracy can kind of hamstring things a little bit here. And now, that being said, we want the funding. We want that.
Yeah.
But you might be able to move a little faster right now because of the situation.
And luckily, that's the one thing too is we don't have the government telling us, well, you can't buy this. With the foundation, whatever the dogs or the handlers need, we can go get without any question.
Without a courtroom.
Well, we need a piece of paper to explain why you're doing this. I don't have to explain. My handlers asked me for this for their dog or themselves, and it's like they need it, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that our handlers are taken care of for their needs as much as our dogs.
Well, because without the handlers, there's no program.
Correct.
And without the dogs, there's no program.
And I'm like I said, when I say take care of our handlers, it's like supplies like treats for the dogs and a bag for the dogs. It's
In case
not
you haven't
like they're
priced raising
asking-
an animal, a dog, it's very expensive for food, especially the dogs we're talking about. And let's face it, Bo and these dogs, they're not little foo-foo 20-pound dogs. These are big 70, 80, 100-pound dogs. And 70, 80, 100-pound dogs...
Snoring right now.
Like to eat.
Yes. And I forgot to tell you that we're going to be at the Convention Center for the Fall-A-Day Art Fair.
Oh, good.
We were selected as a nonprofit for the silent
cool.
auction, so you guys come out to that too.
Yeah.
We'll have probably Beaumont and Kiki there to see, and we'll have some stuff for you guys to bid on
Since
there.
it's a holiday fair, you got to put some elf ears or something.
I'm going to have to do something. So we'll have to do something fall for him.
Maybe some antlers.
Something.
Red nose, something like that.
He'd like that.
But definitely, and please come and come support this stuff. Come read about it. Come look information online here. Call the DA's office. Come by if you want to learn more. But please, this program is one of those things that we can make our judicial system better in the state of New Mexico. And this is one thing that you, the individual, can directly get involved into to make our state a better thing. It's come support. Come see. And who knows? Maybe you can volunteer. Maybe you love dogs and thinking, maybe this is my thing. This sounds like something I'd like to do. Talk to Gina. Maybe that's a possibility.
And we want to thank everybody that has supported us since 2014. We've had some amazing people, lots of support. So we don't take that for granted. Please don't ever think that.
Absolutely,
We're really grateful for everyone that has supported us. But like I said, we're on third generation, and we want to keep this going for as long as we can. So.
This is something that it should keep going and should be just like a well-oiled machine. When Bobo here is about ready to ride off in the sunset, we got another.
Gina's ready to ride off in the sunset.
Yeah. We got another young dog ready to fill the void there.
Yes.
And so that's where we got to get to. And so we need your help. So please come whack a ball around with us here in October. Come see us at the fair. Come support us financially. And I hope that the only time you ever have to meet these dogs is in fun scenarios and fun rooms and fun like that. But
yes.
But know that if you do get in those scenarios, these dogs will come through for you.
We will be there.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you for
We
having
got
us.
87 things to do, so we'll let you go knock those out. So,
Thank you.
All right. Justice can resume. We're out in the street. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. It is 8:56. Let's pause to pay some play some commercials to pay for my lunch. Then we'll be back.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with a new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices. So come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says yes. The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say yes. No social security number or ITIN number? Yes. No driver's license? Yes. It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says yes. If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say yes. Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say yes to you. Yes. Get zero down, zero payments till fall, plus up to $4,000 more for your trade. Yes. On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. Yes!
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to talk about more dogs. We'll have Crystal Noble with the Humane Society join us, give us an update there. Of course, they've got their big fundraising event at the Liberty next month here in September. We'll talk about that, stand-up comedy night. Talk about that. We'll talk about pets available for adoption. We'll talk about thrift store, all that good stuff with Crystal next hour. Of course, if you ever miss any part of our show, you can always go to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find all of our programs there at your leisure, including me there right now live. All right, 9 o'clock, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Last night was Tim Walz's night at the Democratic National Convention as he accepted the party's vice presidential nomination. But tonight, all eyes focus on Kamala Harris as she is nominated for president. And watching all of this from across the aisle, Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, who says Harris proposes fixing a problem that she helped to create.
It's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris who gave us generational inflation. In fact, Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote, literally, in her role under the Constitution as president of the Senate for the $1 trillion tax and spend bill that ignited this inflation back in 2021.
Cotton says Harris acknowledges that grocery prices are too high, but he says they weren't when Donald Trump was in the White House. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s third-party presidential bid could be coming to an end.
RFK Jr.'s campaign says Kennedy will speak Friday about his path forward amid growing speculation that he would drop out. Earlier this week, Kennedy's running mate openly discussed the possibility, saying the campaign was considering a move to join forces with Donald Trump to limit Kamala Harris's election chances. Here at the Democratic National Convention, Harris campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon told Politico she doesn't think it's really going to interfere with the race too much. Greg Clugston, Chicago.
Yesterday it was North Carolina. Today, former President Trump rallies in Arizona. Used home sales up last month, rising 1.3% from June, according to the National Association of Realtors. A strike by Canadian rail workers could have a big impact on the supply chain, not only in Canada, but here in the U.S. as well. The walkout shutting down both of Canada's major freight railroads. On Wall Street, the Dow down 66 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Indian Prime Minister Modi has arrived in Poland, greeted by his Polish counterpart Donald Tusk, before heading to Kiev for top-level meetings. Modi and Tusk are meeting for talks on security, the war on Ukraine by India's ally Russia, and invigorating their bilateral ties. It is a tragic case.
In Fort Lauderdale, Florida, former babysitter Terry McCurchie has pleaded guilty to manslaughter for the 2019 death of Benjamin Dowling. Investigators believe she shook Dowling when he was a baby in her care back in 1984, causing a brain hemorrhage that left him unable to ever walk, talk, or feed himself. McCurchie took a deal in 1985 and received a light sentence, telling reporters at the time that she was innocent. After Dowling's death, she was indicted on a first-degree murder charge. In a letter of apology read by her attorney, McCurchie says she was feeling overwhelmed taking care of numerous children when she struck him. I'm Jennifer King.
News and analysis at townhall.com. Chick-fil-A cooking up something new, something you will not find on the menu.
The restaurant chain is launching its own streaming platform. Deadline reports the fast food company is working with several production companies to create family-friendly shows, including reality series. Chick-fil-A's chairman, Dan Cathy, is a majority owner of Trilith Studios, the largest production facility in the state of Georgia. And it looks to be a new trend. This past June, Starbucks launched Starbucks Studios. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Botswana says one of the largest diamonds ever found has been unearthed at one of its mines. The Botswana government says it believes a huge 2,492-carat stone is the biggest discovered in the country, the second biggest ever brought out of a mine. It's going on display today. It's not clear if the diamond is of a high gem quality, but that weight would make it the largest diamond found in more than 100 years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday.
It is Thursday indeed.
Happy it.
Yes, happy it.
Or SHI Thursday. Sure,
yes.
Happy it's Thursday.
I used to say TGI Thursday. You know, okay, so here's what's funny. I said TGI Thursday, and then ABC started an entire block of television called TGI Thursday. I came up with it. They stole my idea. They stole my intellectual property.
They did.
And I never saw compensation to back in.
Nothing.
By the way, speaking of compensation, do you know that SAG-AFTRA's on strike again?
Are they?
Sort of. Not actors, not film actors necessarily. It is the branch of SAG-AFTRA.
TikTokers?
Huh?
TikTokers are
not
going on
TikTokers.
strike?
Yeah, that would be great. We demand more Riz. No, it's actually the segment of the SAG-AFTRA that deals with voice actors and motion capture artists for video games.
Ooh.
Because there's a lot of people that are saying, you know, AI is really infringing on their ability to make a living doing voice work. You just, read a couple of lines. They say, okay, well, we'll have you back, but they never have him back because AI just does the voice for
Good
them.
thing I play The Sims.
Right?
Because you can get anybody to talk gibberish.
So one of my favorite things on the planet is the people that make The Sims, the company that makes The Sims. I think it's EA.
It's an EA product.
It is an EA product. They reach out to, whenever they put out a new game, they reach out to actual artists, actual singers, to have them perform their songs in Simlish. Cowboy Troy once did a version of I Played Chicken with the Train in Simlish.
Yeah, it's
so
funny.
did Katy Perry did several.
Yeah, there's some, and it's funny when you play the game to hear them, and then once in a while there's an actual word in there. Like you'll hear a word, and you kind of get the gist of what they're talking about.
Well, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
Simlish is actually it's not gibberish.
Is
it's
it?
a written language,
I
so
don't
that
speak it. I can
certain words are used more than over and over again, like the or whatever.
Well, there's certain like when they do like affirmative things, there's certain phrases, and you're like, "Ooh, to God," and you're like, "Oh, I know what he's saying." Yeah.
For the longest time in my family, we'd pass each other in the hallway. We'd go, "Babudna."
You know what makes me laugh is the music that they use in the Sims game. You know, it's commercial music. People make these music, and you pay for rights to play and all.
Right.
But the company that EA uses for music for Sims either shares a library or shares a company with the people that do the music for Impractical Jokers.
Really?
Because if you ever watch, especially older episodes of Impractical Jokers, you'll hear some of their music. It's straight out The Sims. It's the same songs as The Sims.
One of the funny things about Always Sunny is most of the music they used, including the theme song, was public access. It's
okay.
It's
and maybe these are public access songs, but
royalty free.
I know I've watched Impractical Jokers, and I have a bit, and I'm like, oh, that's the music they play when like something breaks down in your sink breaks or your whatever.
Yeah,
you know, in The Sims. Because I play a lot of The Sims, and so I hear the music. I'm like, I know what that is. I hear those earworms. I know exactly where they come from.
But it's a Fruby nope. But it's a Fruby nope.
That's Katy Perry singing Last Friday Night.
It's a Fruby nope. Rimpy fervor perbidex. Wara oofa moonarex.
And as she's doing it, you can see she's actually reading script, like she's reading the lines.
There's actual words.
So somebody actually put together.
It's like Klingon.
I was going to say, or Elvish.
Elvish, yeah.
What's the other one? Yeah, the Mordor, the one they speak. I guess that would be Elvish, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But it's an actual existing language that is passed down from sim creator to sim creator.
So if I walk out and do my own version, people are going to be like, "That's not correct."
Yeah, they're like, "No, that's not Simlish accurate.
Your gibberish is wrong. Gibberish.
How dare you come to me speaking gibberish? I'm clearly talking to you in Simlish."
But yeah, that was. But I'll never forget the first time I was watching Practical Jokers. I'm sitting there like, "That's the music from The Sims."
One of my I wouldn't say favorite, but one of the more followed pro wrestlers that I watch is MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. His entrance music is literally my ringtone, but it's royalty free. Because when he started in this group called Make a Pro, and he created his character. He was looking for music, and that was the only music he could get was royalty free music. So it's become this huge theme. Everybody knows it when you hear it. That's MJF's song, but it's just a royalty free song. You'll hear it every now and again just pop up on a YouTube video or something.
He should start getting royalties for it.
I would say. I think you just monetized a royalty free song.
Exactly. Well, or at least split it with the guy that actually wrote the bars and everything for it.
I wonder, how does that actually work for the songwriter or for the person performing?
I imagine they're contracted.
For a company that just does royalty free
music. Hey, I need you to make me a rock ballad song or this, that, and they probably crank them out.
Because I feel like
they
that
probably
would
pay them a flat fee and say, we'll pay you whatever it is, $1,000. Maybe they're on stipend. Maybe they're on a retainer, like a lawyer. Yeah, I'm on salary from company X, and I just come in and make up songs all day.
I saw the irony in me saying, I would hate the fact that I work all day long on my own creations only to have them monetized by somebody else.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living. Never mind.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're small market radio. Our voice doesn't matter on things. That's right. Unlike you get national, you get paid per spot. We're on salary. We make ads. We make ads.
I ran into a buddy of mine, Russell, yesterday. He was telling me he just did voiceover for a morning show in Perth, Australia.
Ooh.
Because they wanted a gruff American sounding person to say, "It's time to get up, Perth." But he was paid $300. He was like, "Hey, hit me up if you ever need any voice work." I'm like, "I can't afford you."
Yeah. That's how it goes.
You just priced yourself out of the market, buddy.
One line, $300.
That's right. Turns out if you'll do it for $10 in a sandwich, I'm your guy. That's how I got started in this industry.
And we're talking like the Walmart egg salad sandwich. You rip open.
I love a good
chicken
half
salad.
grinder from Walmart. Like you'll recall, when I first started in radio, I was literally paid in coupons.
That's right.
For $20 a week and then coupons.
Yeah. And occasional lunch at Martine's.
Oh, not an occasional. I destroyed that trade. They were like, oh, we're not getting our value for this because Homeboy's in here every other day. I developed friendships with the wait staff over there.
Yeah, they were all mixed people there for a little bit.
There's a lady, I don't know if she still waits there, but who still to this day calls me Shorty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It comes up every now and again. But yeah, no, it's.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
I wrecked that trade.
I don't think I've seen her in a while.
I know.
I think she may have retired.
Maybe. Here's hoping.
Yeah, hopefully.
She deserves it.
She's gone on to be with family or whatever. But yeah.
But yep, you'll be surprised what you can get me to do for some free food.
Oh, I've seen Sean do things.
I'll do things sometimes just for the for the lulls. You throw in a sandwich, that's bonus.
I still have nightmares of him up on stage with people throwing bologna and bread.
See, I want to correct you, but I feel like it would make your nightmares worse because they weren't throwing bologna and bread.
Were they actually putting it on?
I brought the bologna and the bread.
Yeah.
What I did was smeared mayonnaise on my stomach and then slapped bologna and bread on my stomach, made a sandwich, and had one of the fans come up and take a bite.
That's what it was.
That's what happened.
I just remember I was revolted by it.
It's so much worse than you even remember.
I know.
But this is called paying your dues, kids.
I just remember being thoroughly disgusted by it.
That's right.
All right.
You and my mom and dad.
That's right. And many others.
That's right.
Let me get the hour going. Crystal Noble patiently waiting to join us here from the Humane Society. We'll talk, of course, they've got their big fundraising event coming up next month. We'll talk pets available. We'll talk thrift store.
I should probably start writing my set, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, most comics, when you're starting, kind of getting your feet wet or whatever, they're like, just work up a tight 5.
That's
you're
right.
like, we need a Netflix special from you.
Crank that out real quick.
I know. She got my legal name yesterday so that she can get the check cut. So I understand. I'm contracted. I get it.
That's right. He's on the hook.
And your name is going on the flyer.
Is it really? Nice. Cool.
And when
you wanted a Sean Smalls, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you get there, you'll find a bunch of ingredients to make bologna sandwiches there too.
If I run out of material, I'm just going to go with my classics.
You're going Oscar Mayer.
Somebody bring a cattle prod.
I'm going full Oscar Mayer if you don't hurry up. All right, it is 9:16. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Be careful out in the heat today. We're headed for about 105 on the afternoon high. Upper level high pressure in the Texas Panhandle is covering our area. Sunshine through the day, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds drifting through. We're in the mid 70s and then near 105 for the afternoon high again on Friday and sunny. Low 100s on Saturday, upper 90s on Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, it is refreshed. I was trying to see if I refreshed it. Currently 85 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 25% with winds out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. We do have a heat advisory for today once again. That'll kick in at noon, remain in effect through 8 p.m. Sunny, hot, 106 today. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, 73 for an overnight low. Winds out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, 105 under sunny skies, west winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 73. Saturday, sunny and 102. South winds 5 to 15. Sunday, sunny, 100 for a high. And then next week, maybe, just maybe, we're starting to see a break in the heat action here because on Monday and through Wednesday, I'm only got through Wednesday next week, but all 3 days next week, 20% chance of afternoon showers Monday. Mostly sunny, 97. 30% chances of showers Monday night. Partly cloudy overnight, low of 69, below 70. 20% chance of showers Tuesday afternoon. Mostly sunny and 95. 20% Tuesday night, partly cloudy, 67. And then a 20% chance on Wednesday, sunny and 94. So slightly mid-90s by midweek. Maybe some rain chances. Maybe, just maybe, we're starting to see a break in the heat. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Jesus preaches, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." In John 18, Jesus tells his disciples, "If the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. As it is, you don't belong to the world, but I've chosen you out of it." If we're truly living as Christ lived and as God calls us to live, we'll be at conflict with this sinful, broken world. That world doesn't want to be held accountable for their actions, and so they push back against anything that questions their choices. We, as Christians, rejoice in the persecution because we know that we're living the life God called us to. That gives us the strength to withstand and to persevere. That's being Jesus to the world around us.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The Labor Day savings event is on now at Roswell Honda with scorching savings across the lot on a great selection of vehicles like a 2023 Toyota Tacoma priced under $34,000 or a brand new Honda CR-V for under $36,000. In the service department, take $10 off your next oil change and tires are buy 3, get 1 free. Then join Roswell Honda Saturday, July 31st from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kids, and your chance to score a 4-burner gas grill and $200 Super Meat Mart gift card. The Labor Day savings event on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Lot is hot. The pre-Labor Day sale is on now at Carlsbad Chevrolet with red hot deals across the lot on an amazing selection of vehicles like a 2020 Kia Optima priced under $19,000, now just $299 a month, or a 2018 Ford Escape just $239 a month. Or blaze ahead with the all-new 2025 Chevy Trax Active just $379 a month, or a 2024 Chevy Equinox LT marked down to just $289 a month. The pre-Labor Day Bash on now at Carlsbad Chevrolet, 2155 South Canal.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Humane Society here in Roswell, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good deal. I know, of course, it's a busy time for you guys. It's gearing up for big fundraising event,
Yes.
which is kind of a big deal because you guys don't generally do these things, you know.
No, this is a first
Yeah.
for this type of fundraiser, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
And it kind of just worked out. It kind of fell in your lap. There's a gentleman that's a stand-up comedian that
Yes.
used to work in like kind of like an animal control type job.
Cruelty investigation.
And so he's a stand-up comedian, and now he does just for groups like the Humane Society. He's a stand-up comic trying to be a comic, but at the same time, his moniker is to support animals and to find adoption. So he's going to come and be our opener and do a great night of comedy at the Liberty and have fun. So it'll be dinner and silent auction and all the come out and bring a date and have fun and do all that. But at the end of the night, we're raising a bunch of money for the Humane Society.
That's our goal.
Yep.
We have, as you guys got to see yesterday, the paintings that Greg did.
Yeah, he did. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, I only asked for one, And then he threw in 2, and I was like, well, I'm not going to say no.
Well, exactly. One more, another silent auction
Yes.
item. Or you could pack them together and maybe get, one big one, whatever it is. Yeah.
So when he dropped them off to me yesterday, he was telling me that people that follow his artwork out of Texas were already trying to buy the paintings yesterday. And so he told them, no, you guys got to come and bid on them at the auction.
You're more than welcome to buy as long as it goes to the Humane Society.
Yes.
Exactly.
So they're like, we'll just pay for them right now and give them the money. And I'm like, no, I need auction items.
Greg's awesome like that. That's why I love having him on because, he's an artist. That's how he eats. That's how he pays his day job and all that. But he really does so much for the community. He donates so many paintings. I'm going to guess that man probably donates almost as much as he could potentially earn. You know what I mean? He could get thousands of dollars and he just gives them away.
He does all the historical paintings. Yeah.
He could turn that for his own personal income, and he doesn't. He uses it for organizations like yourself. So that's why I like Greg and what he does, because he's an artist, but he also, he's giving back when he didn't have to. And that's so cool. So, yeah.
We also have a lot of silent auction items. Roswell has come together a lot to help us out with this. We've assembled baskets, and so we're doing themed baskets.
Cool.
So we have one that could be a anniversary night, date night or something.
A couple's themed basket. Yeah.
So it's got champagne.
Okay.
Champagne glasses. A gift certificate for flowers from.
We'll call it the date night experience basket.
Yeah, or the oops, I screwed up basket.
I don't want to live in the doghouse basket.
Right.
That would actually be very appropriate for the.
House of Flowers donated a $100 gift card. Cattle Barons donated a $100 gift card.
Nice.
And then we've also got a very beautiful necklace and earring set from Bullocks, valued at $500.
Oh wow, that's a pretty nice.
That are platinum plated over sterling silver.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that's going to be one.
I might get you out of a doghouse.
And that might get you out of the doghouse.
Dinner and jewelry. Yeah, that'll do it.
And then
flowers.
One of the other ones, it's kind of similar, except it's got one's got red wine, one's got white wine.
Okay.
And then each one of those have a $200 gift certificate to Martin's Jewelers.
Okay.
For custom jewelry.
Excellent.
Because Martin's Jewelry is now doing custom design
they do
jewelry.
custom work, and they do more than jewelry too. So if you like things that gifts and collectibles, they got all that too. So you can. There's no law saying you have to buy jewelry. That you can get whatever they've got over there. Yeah.
But she was telling me when I went in to go get the gift certificates was that a lot of people are, they go online, they see something, they create jewelry online, but it doesn't come as good quality as they make it look. So she said the majority of their business now is actually turned to custom jewelry.
Okay.
And she's like, they don't have to use it to buy something from inside the store if they want to create something.
Put it towards a custom piece.
Put it towards a custom piece.
It's your gift certificate. You do it how you see fit with it. So,
right.
Oh, awesome.
Then we got a man box, or we're just going to call this game night box. Okay.
All right.
So we got.
Is this the one your husband gave the thumbs up on? Because I imagine he's the one that says, "Yeah, this is officially a man box."
Well, there's 2 of them.
Ah, okay.
So we got a bottle of bourbon.
All right.
From Quality.
Okay.
All of the liquor came from Quality, by the way.
Big thank you to Quality for supporting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have, when you're playing pool and you rack the cue balls.
Mm-hmm. The triangle.
The triangle.
Yeah.
So we got a triangle with shot glasses that are numbered like pool balls.
Like pool ball. Okay.
Then we got
Are they solid in stripes?
They actually are.
Awesome. Good.
So then we got a roulette shot glass set.
Oh, cool.
And then we're getting a tabletop poker set.
So that'll be fun for somebody's man cave or poker night or game night kind of thing.
And then there's going to be a Dion's Pizza gift card in there. So that way you order pizza, you got your beer or your bourbon,
you got
pizza,
your shot bourbon,
glasses.
And cards. It's a good night.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a dude night.
It is. So the other official man box is a Leatherman from Roswell Livestock.
Awesome.
We got a tool set from Ace Hardware, a drill set from
Leathermans are
Tractor
one of the
Supply.
most versatile knife tools.
They are.
Because I was in Boy Scouts and everything, and I've had knives over the years, but the one I always kept on me that I always pulled out for various things was that Leatherman, because it had the pliers, it had the knife, it had screwdriver, it had all kind of stuff that from time to time I occasionally needed. And so Leatherman is, it's like a whole toolkit on your in a knife basically.
It really is.
Yeah, it's even more than like Swiss Army stuff or Swiss Army, like the pliers, and they're actually good pliers.
This is like the Supreme version of a Swiss Army.
Yeah, like they're actually pliers that you can put some torque on without fear of breaking or something like that. Yeah. So anyway, sorry.
No, you're okay. That has the Leatherman, the drill set, the tool set. trying to think. I got some Texas Roadhouse gift certificates to go in there.
Steak. You can cut your steak with the Leatherman.
I didn't even think about that. There's something else that goes in there, and I can't remember. And then we have a lot of miscellaneous items. Okay. Oh, yeah, and then Roswell seed basket. Sorry.
Can't forget them.
Yeah, no. My husband's like, excuse me.
It's like,
So I'm picking up a stainless steel tub. So when you're harvesting stuff from your garden, you got something to carry it in.
Sure.
And so Roswell Seed gave us a water hose, spray nozzle, gloves, little yard utensils.
Like a whole gardening kit.
Pretty much gardening kit with the $100 gift certificate, so they could go pick what they want.
So you pick your seeds or whatever.
Seeds, if you want grass seed, flower seed, vegetable seeds.
Please speak to the experts at Roswell Seed before you pick those. Don't pick the one. I get it. You want to pick your favorites, but pick your favorites that also grow well in the soil in which you own. That's the key.
Yes, it really is. And what makes it a lot easier is this is the time of the year where we should be starting to cool off.
Yeah.
But at the time of the event, it will be at the cool off time. So the season's going to be changing. So what you plant is going to be different. So the gift certificate doesn't expire from there. But if you want to do something for fall or winter crops, or you want to redo your yard, this will help get you started.
Excellent.
There's also fertilizer in there too.
And it's from Roswell Seeds.
The fertilizer that I use on my garden and plants at the house.
Getting the good stuff.
It is. It really is. I love it. And then we have a lot of just individual items.
Okay.
We've got a very nice Western purse from Roswell Livestock. Big R gave us an Ariat purse.
Nice.
We're going to have 2 posters and 2 hats for Mind That Bird that are signed by the owners of the horse.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a poster and a hat and a poster and a hat.
Cool.
There's quite a bit of stuff, and I cannot remember everything. So
Mind That Bird's a Kentucky Derby winner, in case people, some young people are like, who's Mind That Bird? Actually, there's a movie about it.
There is.
Pretty good movie. What the heck is it called? I can't remember the name of the movie now. Like Skeet Ulrich or something was in it. I can't remember it, but
I thought the name of the movie was Mind That Bird.
I thought it was like 24-1 or 40-1 or like whatever his odds were.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was
maybe
called,
it was.
Yeah.
But it was based on Mind That Bird.
But yeah, this is Mind the Bird.
So there's a lot of just a variety of things. We want to attract all sorts of people to come. So there's, date night stuff. There's individual stuff. There's going to be door prizes.
It's an eclectic mix. A little something for everybody. If you like man things, there's going to be man stuff. If you like foo-foo things, there's going to be foo-foo stuff. And a little bit in between. And couple experiences and things like that.
And then you're going to get to hear the one and only Sean Smalls go back to stand-up comedy.
Sean has not done stand-up in probably 20-plus years.
I know. So, and then when I asked him, he's like, yeah. He's like, well, I found this actual real comedian. I was like, so on the flyer, he sent me, it says a local. Yeah. You are local. And he's like, but I haven't done it in years. And I said, but you're gonna.
Deep down, he's deeply excited. This is what he loves. This is his passion. Yeah, it's giving him a challenge. At the same time, this is what Sean loves. He's gonna kill it.
He will. He's gonna nail it. Yeah, and he's just like anybody else. They overthink and they stress out about it until the event, and then when it goes smoothly, then he's gonna be like, "Oh, I can do that again."
Just not every single person, but generally, comedians are kind of soup sandwich brain type people. Like they're really good at certain aspects of life and really not good at other aspects. So just saying. I suffer from these same things because
So the movie with Mind That Bird is 100-1.
100-1. That's what I knew. It was like odds or something like that. But,
that would be input from my husband.
It was a good movie. I like that movie. Yeah, it's probably on Prime or whatever. You can rent it or whatever. It's a good movie.
But there's a various set of items.
I actually was lucky enough to meet because when I was in Leadership Roswell, because they live locally. Mm-hmm. The Mind That Bird. He's retired here in Roswell, and so I got to go out to his home and see the trophy room and see the trophy and see like the room they have it in is like the trophy's in the middle, the big Kentucky Derby trophy, and then like the walls around, and the room is maybe a little bigger than this room, and the walls are covered floor to ceiling and all kinds of memorabilia, magazine covers, news particle, every piece of media about Mind That Bird is probably up on that wall. It's so impressive.
And I wonder how they came up with that name, Mind That Bird.
I don't know. I didn't think to ask. I think I would have.
It's a horse.
Yeah. And the horse lives well now.
Oh,
the horse,
yeah.
Yeah, the horse, and we got to meet the horse, and the horse kind of knows. Like when people are there to see it. Like with the day we were there, the horse was kind of in its own little section on the pen there or whatever. And there was a pony also in that same pen. And it's a big pen. It was a couple 100 feet total. And so a group of people get up towards the fence, and then the pony comes over. And so we're all petting on the pony. And then that bird, like, literally looked like, no, these are my people. And came running over, kicked that pony out of there, and said, you may pet me now. And it was...
the star is here.
Right, it literally, like, that horse knows exactly what it's here to do.
That's
and of course,
funny.
it gets... And if you don't know, it has a affinity for peppermints. Like,
yes.
the ones you get at Sonic?
Yes.
Loves those things. And so you feed them peppermints.
My horse, our horse, is a peppermint connoisseur.
Okay.
Sonic peppermints are not good enough for him.
Oh, he likes more highfalutin ones?
Oh, it's got to be Brock's.
Oh, the Brock's ones. Okay.
Or the C's. I'm not probably saying that name right. They do the chocolates.
Yes.
So John and I had gone to the Cottonwood Mall, and they had the C's chocolates. And I was like, I'm going to get Cash a bag of peppermints.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, really? You're spending $15 on a half a pound of peppermints for the horse? And I was like, yeah.
They love them.
Well, our neighbor got him started on the Brock's. And so he's like, well, your horse does not like peppermint from Sonic. He's like, he spits them out. And I started laughing. I was like, wow.
Got a little picky on this.
A little picky, but...
Loves the Brock's ones, though.
I get him the horse nuggets that are peppermint flavored.
Okay.
Oh.
Big fan of those.
Oh, buddy. Peppermints, watermelon. He salivates like a St. Bernard and Great Dane.
Do horses like mint? Like, is it just peppermint, or could you give them spearmint or one of the other mints, and they'd be down with it too?
I don't know. Everything I see is always peppermint.
Peppermint. Maybe the other mint. I don't know. This is where I'm dumb. So
that would be a question I cannot answer.
To be honest, I'm like, don't they eat like grass and stuff? Occasionally give them a carrot or an apple. I didn't know they eat candy.
So carrots, apples, celery, pumpkins, cantaloupe, watermelon, squash, zucchini, any vegetable, fruit.
They don't eat any meats, right?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Nope.
Don't slip my cheeseburger. They ain't gonna want that.
Nope. They like beer. Some like pizza. Horses, they're different. Every
Sure.
horse is different. Our horse has a very fond liking of beer in a glass bottle instead of an aluminum can.
Class. Your horse is bougie.
Yes, he is. And
I will not eat these Sonic peppermints. I need Brock's. I will not drink beer out of a can like a savage.
And John's gonna blame that all on me.
That's pretty good.
But he is very bougie.
That's funny.
Because I give him the best, and the best is the best.
There you go. Well, good.
And
It's your kid. You do how you do. Yeah.
That's part of being a pet owner.
Exactly. Yep.
If I'm gonna have the best, why can't they?
Exactly.
Or they're gonna have the best, and then I'll just have the second best because their best is a little bit more expensive than mine.
Right. Can't afford yours.
No. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. But everything that we're doing for this fundraiser basically is to help keep running the Humane Society.
Absolutely.
With the economy the way it is now, donations have gone down quite a bit.
Yeah, you're not getting nearly as much of the litter and food that you used to get.
No.
And so, but the demand's not decreased. If anything, it's increased.
It is increasing because the amount of people owners surrendering animals has jumped about 15-20%.
Well, and it goes hand in hand. People don't have money. People aren't making donations. People can't afford to take care of the pets they got. They leave them on your doorstep. This is what happens.
So we're trying to hopefully make this a huge success. And tickets are available.
And quite frankly, you guys have dealt with a lot of expenses. There's been a bunch of renovations over there. A new roof has been put on. There's been a lot of costly things that have happened over at the Humane Society in the last year. And so we're still paying for it.
Yep.
We got to pay. And like I said, none of the needs or operations have slowed down. The dogs and cats need to be adopted. They got to be housed. Sure, we have these outbreaks and things where they can't adopt, but guess what? The animals still there. The animals need to be taken care of. They need to be fed. They need money. And so And let's face it, the Humane Society doesn't make a ton of money by adopting pets. That's not where the bread and butter is.
No.
The only reason that thing is open is generosity of folks and you coming and shopping at that thrift store. That thrift store really does a lot to keep it open.
And they got some cool stuff.
Good deal.
They had a 65-inch Vizio TV donated. It works. They have that listed for $150. It does not have the remote.
Well, you can get a universal remote, or if you got satellite, it usually comes, or cable usually comes with a remote.
Right.
And quite frankly, a 65-inch TV for what, $100?
$150.
Yeah, they're about $1,000, $1,200 new.
Yeah.
So.
And then they have a smaller 32-inch JVC for $50, and then they have a 40-inch Samsung for $50.
Oh wow!
So if you college, it's gonna start up August.
Yeah, that's a perfect size because those college dorms probably can't handle a 65-inch TV, but a 40-inch would be more than adequate there.
If you need mattresses, she has a queen size mattress for $150 and a twin for $50.
Wow! And by the way, you ever priced new mattresses?
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars.
It's like taking out a small mortgage.
Yeah. You're thinking, it's like, what's in here? Just like cushion and stuff, right? What you got, gold in here? What's going on?
Is this gonna like rock me to sleep, massage me in my
Is
sleep?
memory foam made of gold? What is it?
Right. And then they also have this really huge aquarium.
Excellent.
I think it is a 75-gallon, and I might be off just a little bit on the size.
So that's a decent size, 75
so
gallons.
it is
big.
huge. It takes 2 people to move it.
Gotcha.
Or 2.
The only reason I know because my brother and my sister-in-law, they're aquarium people, and they have a 100-gallon tank, and that thing's ginormous.
I used to when I had my turtles, and then when my turtles were old and gone, I got rid of my.
Matter of fact, they like to have. They have to spend like an entire Saturday to clean that thing. It takes like all day.
Yeah, that's a commitment. Like you put that on the calendar, and nobody comes over, nobody does nothing because they are a lot of work and a lot of maintenance.
At some point, my brother hired a service that I guess you can hire services. It depends if you live in the city.
I was going to say, what services are that here?
He lives in Maryland, D.C. area, so I'm sure there's a company. And so I think after a few of those, he was like, dude, we can hire someone to do this. And I think they come once a month to do the same thing. So
they have, they're starting to already bring out Halloween items, the decor, costumes, anything Halloween related, they're starting to pull out.
'Tis the season.
They have sports cleats for various sports.
Okay, so if you're going to be playing some fall sports here, soccer, whatever, football, whatever, they got you.
They have some baby walkers, baby swings, the baby balancers, when they walk.
Okay.
They've got a lot of that stuff.
And that stuff's expensive, brand new. Get it here.
It is.
And you can get it for pennies on the dollar, and then when you outgrow it or done with it because your kids are too big, you can donate it back.
Right. They have all seasons clothes, all sizes, a lot of clothes.
Because I'm sure your kids have probably worn out a few of your school clothes already. Need to get maybe some replacements here. Go to the thrift store. It's way cheaper. And they're kids' clothes. Kids either outgrow it or tear it up in weeks.
Right, unless they're the uniforms that they have to have.
Yeah, don't spend crazy amounts of money on that when you can get it at the thrift store for pennies on the dollar. And quite frankly, you'll get months out of it, and then it's no good no more. So that's what it is.
Same with shoes. They have boots, shoes, sandals, flip-flops, dress shoes, tennis shoes.
Yeah. And and guess what? You find name brands like you want to get your kids Nikes and all that, but you don't want to pay $200 for Nikes. Go there, find Nikes for $20. They're brand new.
Throw them in the washing machine. Yeah. Tennis shoes are capable of being washed. So, and then this Saturday, what they're going to do is they're going to have the entire store half off, excluding Halloween items.
Okay.
But the entire store, so clothes, shoes.
You can still get Halloween items because, like I said, everything's deeply discounted. It's pennies on the dollar.
I think the costumes they have, like some of them, like the most I've seen on a costume was like $15.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like if you love the decor and all that, that stuff's expensive, and you put it out for a couple weeks, then put it in a shed for the rest of the year. Go to the thrift store, buy that stuff. Don't pay the new for the lights and the plastic pumpkins and all the tombstones and all the stuff decor and things you put out in your front yard. Get it? Because someone did what you did, spent thousands of dollars, and then they had no place for this, so they donate it. And now you can go get it for like, $1 a piece or whatever. And now you didn't spend thousands of dollars, but it looks like you spent thousands of dollars on your decor. And it's just, you just walked around thrift stores, and when you're done hitting the thrift store at the Humane Society, go hit the other ones.
They've all got them.
Yeah, and go hit
We're
them
not
all.
the only ones.
Exactly. You you can do all of this and not break the budget. If you got the kids and you want to create that experience, but I get it. Money's tight. Everything's tight. It costs $50 to go to McDonald's right now for 3 people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I get it. Utilize things like the thrift store. That's your friend. That's how you navigate through these things, because people donate good stuff that's practically brand new. Matter of fact, I got a couple things I'm giving her to take. One is because my wife ordered the wrong size, and she's never worn them, or worn one time to know it didn't fit, and in a blanket. That's what happens. It's stuff like that all the time that people are like, I got this thing, it really didn't serve me well. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to donate it. And so a lot of it's brand new clothing. A lot of time you go in their clothing, there's still tags on it because someone thought they could fit into a size 2 and they didn't, or whatever it is. That's what happens.
Or you normally wear one size and then you order it from a different place and their sizes are different.
Their XL is not the same as everyone else's XL. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But also we have another thing coming up.
Okay.
And we're going to be at Petco this Saturday, 10 to 2.
Okay.
We're going to have a few animals out there. This is National Pet Weekend with Petco, and Petco's one of our partners.
Excellent.
So,
are you back keeping pets at Petco?
No,
okay.
They haven't got the new housing thing.
Okay, so as soon as that's
this just clicked in my head. I remembered. So, Harley Davidson fanatics, you have to come to the show.
Okay.
Because Champion Motorsports did a dog bucket with Harley Davidson attire and a cat bucket with Harley Davidson attire.
Okay.
So you can have your dog or cat bling blinged with Harley stuff.
Oh, nice.
That was the other thing. I was like, what was I missing?
And that'll be this Saturday out at Petco.
Yes.
Awesome. What time are you going to be out there?
10 to 2.
10 to 2. So going on out there, and of course, if you haven't been in there and you're a pet owner, I don't know why you haven't been in there. There's so much stuff.
It's Petco.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much.
My dog loves to go in there because my dog gets to just grab and pick toys, and then I have to buy them because my dog drools.
And that's the one thing I'm blessed. I have pets that you do not take out in public.
Well, you could.
But I would not recommend it.
They wouldn't like it, but you could. They would not be
happy. They would make everyone's world miserable.
Yes. And then we've also got started up with Texas Roadhouse for the Dine to Donate.
Oh, good deal. That's I love when they do that stuff.
They're working on the flyer for me now because you have to have the barcode off of the flyer.
Yeah, that's how it works, and we'll tell you more as we get to it. Basically, there'll be a flyer out, and on a designated night between like 3 and 10, you go out there and have dinner, and like 10% of your meal cost will go back to the Humane Society.
Yep, and then we'll be out there with donation bucket, but also the very first Dine to Donate is my receptionist's birthday. So we're gonna do her birthday at Texas Roadhouse.
How appropriate! Good deal. And I love that place because I can get
their rolls. Oh,
but and like in this day and age, like you can I can get a steak dinner, and my wife and I still pay like $50-$60, and in this day and age, that's unheard of.
Yeah, no, and it's not expensive.
Exactly.
You can go get better quality food for the same price of going to McDonald's.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, to be honest. Every time they do this, I was like, how do these people make money? Because that's a lot of food and a lot.
Liquor.
Granted,
they make it in their liquor sales.
Have you ever seen that place when it's not busy?
No.
That's my point, too. They sell a lot of food.
When I went to go do everything with the lady to get set up for the Dine to Donate, people were already waiting in the parking lot at 10:30.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, whoa.
As soon as they turn the key to open the door, that place is packed. And it's like that till they turn the key to close it at night.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's busy. So, but we're going to start doing that once a month.
Good. Well, excellent. And obviously, as you come on every couple of weeks, we'll remind people, hey, the next Dine to Donate and all that. But for right now, the big thing we need to do is you can go to thelibertyinc.com and get tickets for the fundraiser. It's September 20th. I can remember the actual date there.
So I know quite a bit of tickets already have sold.
Good.
There are limited tickets.
Okay.
There's 300 max capacity when it's a comedy show. So when we've hit the 300 ticket mark, it will be sold out.
All right. So don't wait until September to get your tickets. Go.
No.
See it, and again, it's probably the easiest, quickest way. thelibertyinc.com. You do not have to be a member to purchase tickets and things like that. Now, if you want to become a member, there's a lot of great perks for that, and you do your research there. But to get tickets for the event here on September 20th, you'll go to the Liberty Inc. You'll see the event, click on it. You'll put
or
in
if
your
you go to our
Facebook
page, we have the QR code.
Okay, so if you look for the Historical Society for Historical Society.
Humane Society.
Humane Society. My brain.
We both start with an H.
Yeah, the Roswell Humane Society on Facebook. You'll go and like and follow that if you want. I recommend you do, and that way you'll find the QR code to the Liberty Inc. website.
Yes.
And get there.
And it goes directly to the event and tickets.
Good
boom,
deal.
boom.
Excellent. And then don't forget to come out to Petco tomorrow between 10 and 2. Come out and Harley up your, thanks to Champion Motorsports, Harley up your cats and dogs.
Yes.
There will be a few pets that are looking for forever homes out there. Are they dogs and cats or just dogs?
We're just doing dogs this
Just a couple dogs. Cats,
Yeah.
Cats sometimes are easy to transport, sometimes not. Just depends on the mood of the
When
cat.
we have the habitat that's out there, it's easier for them because they've already had a decompression time.
Sure.
But when you're doing like little events like this where people are walking their dogs around and
And you can't really do that with cats. They got to stay in the kennels. They got to stay
Right.
in the whatever containers they're in where the dogs can get out and stretch their legs. So,
right, and the cats a lot of cats don't like to see a whole bunch of dogs.
Sure. Well, yeah, and cats don't deal well. Cats, you have to get in their circle most. I mean, some cats are right in your face, but most cats, you got to earn that love, and you got to get in their circle of friends. And so a bunch of people means I'm going to hide in the corner. I'm going to stay. I'm going to hide under the thing.
I'm
going to
be scared.
Yeah, I will be here until this thing's over with. That's how cats roll.
Yes.
And so they don't work as well. So that way, when they do have and everybody's talking about the little Decker thing that's got a couple rooms they can walk around and usually there's branches and stuff they can lay out and hang out on and stuff.
Yes.
So when that's up, they can bring more cats. But that being said, don't hesitate. You can come down to the Humane Society today and see all the loving cats and dogs that are ready to come.
We have a bunch of kitties.
Good deal.
Bunch.
You got kitties and adults or little,
So I have
almost all
one
kitties?
adult, and the majority of them are young adult kittens.
Okay.
Between 3 to 5-ish.
Where you've
months.
got a good long life with them still. Yeah.
Yes, where you got 20 years.
Yeah. And they're still, and as a matter of fact, 3 or 4, they I'm not saying they're fully outgrown that kitten mindset because they are young and playful, but they are a little bit more subdued than say a kitten would be.
They're not, going to climb your curtains because their brain is like, must do something.
Yeah. They still get the zoomies. They still do all the things that cats do. To be honest, that's their whole life.
It's hilarious because
I got a cat that's pushing 10 that still does the zoomies all the time. So.
my cousin's cat, we got our dog's the big lamb from Petco.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had found a smaller lamb and a big lamb for my uncle's dog, and then my little dog is over there right now. And so her cat drags the lamb around the house at 3:00 in the morning doing that kitty chirp.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? And he's dragging the lamb that's the same size as him.
Uh-huh.
And I started laughing. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
I catch Hannah do that. Like, she's got a couple of these little mice. I don't know, there's a half dozen of them. I buy them like 3 packs, and I just throw them on the floor and let them play. And so every once in a while, she'll have one of those in her mouth, and it'll be about 11, 12 at night. We're all sleeping, all of a sudden here. And then she's walking around with a mouse in
She
her.
sounds like a bullfrog.
Yeah. She's walking with that little mouse in her thing. She's just, it's cats. That's what they do.
It's funny. So,
Yeah.
but if you want to look at cats, come down to the shelter Tuesdays through Saturday, 10 to 12, 1 to 4:30.
And
we're
I know,
open.
I get it. Dog people, I love dogs. I love cats. But I grew up being a dog lover. I didn't until I got married. I wasn't, because my parents were allergic, so I didn't really was around cats. And I'm telling you, cats are just as awesome as dogs. And as a person, and I love dogs, and I love what they do. Cats, okay, not completely like dogs, but you can have just as that kind of relationship with it, because I do. I have 2 cats, and I do the same. They greet me at the door. They roll around the floor. I mean, short of the sloppiness that is a dog, where how they lick and everything's just cats are a little more neat about that stuff. That's the only difference. They don't do that. They act like cats, but they want your attention like dogs. They play
do.
like dogs. They greet me and love me like dogs sometimes. Cats are awesome. So.
They do. That is one thing that cats do.
But you got to earn that trust. That's
You
just
do.
it. You got to earn it. Once you do, you got it. But
Then there's no going back.
Yeah, and that's the difference between dogs and cats. Is they're just as loving. It's just dogs are more trusting from the get-go. Not everyone, but to a point. Where cats are generally on guard until you give them the reason to not be.
Right.
Yeah. So once you see a cat on your floor laying there on its back with its belly up, you're golden. That means that they've accepted you and they've accepted their environment, and they look at this as a safe place.
You've been inducted into their cult.
Yeah, exactly. And when the cat rubs up on you, and it's telling you, I like you and you may touch me.
Yes. I give you permission.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but come to the shelter.
Yes.
And check out. Now, everything good with the parvos and all that, or any of those issues?
So far, we haven't had any issues. I know animal control is still having some issues with distemper,
parvo, or any of that stuff. Okay.
But we haven't.
Yeah, knock on wood.
But we're not out of the clear yet because distemper is summertime and we're having
right in the middle of it.
High heat.
Well, and
when it's lasting longer, we're starting with our high temperatures end of April, beginning of May, and they're lasting until September, October. So we can't eliminate the issue
because the environment
hasn't changed.
Doesn't get to a point where it's not as good for it. So. And this is why when you do go to the shelter and they tell you not to wear open-toed shoes, they ask you to walk on the bleach pad and all that first. It's so you don't contaminate what comes out of their home and what you don't bring from outside into there. It's all for the safety of your home and yourself and those animals in there.
And we
please respect
vaccinations. It's okay. So vaccinations are not a guarantee. Just because your dogs get vaccinated doesn't mean that they can't catch either one of these.
Sure.
But they're more apt to be treatable.
They've got a self-defense against
if they do contact it. So it's just like us and the flu. You know, we get the flu vaccination, and if we catch the flu, it's a milder version of the flu, and we're up and at it 24 hours
it's
versus...
not a death sentence where some of these others, without the vaccination, it could be.
Right, yeah. And so in order for you to safely protect your animal, puppy vaccinations come in a set of 4. Because we are such a high area for parvo and distemper, vets, will tell you, do a series of 4 sets. So start them on their first... third, fourth, or second, third, and fourth, and then yearly after that. Stay up on the yearlies because even as adults, our first case this year was an adult dog that had distemper. Wow. So adults aren't immune.
And that's it. It's easy to fix if you get them vaccinated. If you get them vaccinated, these things aren't a problem. Like you said, even if they do contract it, it turns into a milder form, is very treatable and recoverable. There's a full recovery there. Whereas parvo and distemper, without that stuff, it's a death sentence.
It is. And vaccinations, think of it this way. Would you rather pay, $50 every month until they're caught up on vaccinations over a course of time? Or would you rather pay $3,000 at once and then your dog still might not make it?
Yeah.
And then you're out that vet bill because you still have to pay the vet regardless if your animal makes it or doesn't make it.
Yeah, the service is rendered, you have to pay for it. But this kind of gets to the point where we talking about before, owning a pet, whether it's a cat or a dog, is no different than owning a child or having a child. It's the same. Cost is almost the same now with healthcare and everything else.
And they offer pet insurance at almost every vet in town.
That's a common thing now.
Care credit. If you don't make a whole lot of money and you want to take care of your pets, work on your credit and get a care credit card.
Absolutely.
And then that way when an emergency does come up or you need to do your vaccinations, you can charge it on the care credit and then pay that out. But your animal is still being properly taken care of.
Absolutely, but you gotta, and that's why before you set foot in the Humane Society, you gotta understand that this cat or this dog that you're going to take home is a huge commitment.
It is,
and if you're not prepared or able to do that, maybe now's not the time to adopt that.
Come volunteer and spend time with them. Get your fill and affection of the animals, and then you're providing a service to that animal by giving it some socialization and some attention.
Absolutely. And this is also why the Humane Society does have rules in place on who can adopt what. And, you got to meet certain criteria to adopt a dog or a cat. And if you can't meet that, then they don't adopt. And I know people are like, well, you're trying. Yes, but what's the point of adopting to people if you don't have the ability to take care of it? Because what's going to happen, at best, it's just going to come right back here. At worst, you just killed that dog or sent it someplace worse because you couldn't take care of it. So,
and one of the things that we're also trying to bring awareness to, and I want to give a lot of credit to the president of the Humane Society, Abby, is getting chaining dogs banned. She has been working relentless and talking to city councilmen and everybody. When you drive through Roswell and you look around, 9 out of 10 times you're going to see 1 or 2 dogs chained up in a backyard that are living on a chain for their entire life. And that's not a life for a dog. If you're getting a dog to stick it in the backyard and put it on a chain, you don't need a dog. You need a security camera, so if somebody comes in your yard, you got it on camera.
Let me ask you this. Someone put you on this earth, and they basically put you on a chain and tucked you in a room and said, this is where you live and do everything for the rest of your life. We'll feed you a bowl of food. Here's where you go to the bathroom. And by the way, but you can only go in this 10-foot radius or however long this chain is. How would you feel about that?
Exactly.
There's your answer. Why you don't do it.
I agree. So I asked the citizens of Roswell, when you're driving around town, look. Open your eyes. Stop being tunnel visioned and look.
Yeah.
These animals are being subjected to a life that they didn't ask for, and it's not their fault.
Yeah, that was one thing, like if you've got during the day and whatever, and you have like a runner where they can kind of move within like a 50-foot area and stuff, that's one thing. And they're not living on it. When you get home, you take them off and you bring them in the house.
Or if you have a dog that's an escape artist and, you put them outside to use the restroom and you got to keep them from getting to certain spots.
That's one thing.
That's different.
But when you put the dog on the chain and then you don't see him until you occasionally put water and food out there, then why are you owning a pet?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point you're making.
So I'm trying to encourage everybody to stand beside Abby Hess and support the ban the chainings for Chaves County.
It's going to be a tough fight because I know, especially when you get in the county, people set ways and things, and so.
Well, it's pretty much mostly for the city limits.
Sure, but the thing that you got that people have to remember is, and then again, it's not about chaining the dog ever. We get it. There's times where you have to. It's about life on the chain. If that dog is 24/7 on the chain, and neighbors know, if that dog's always on the chain because you hear it, and the neighborhood knows, and so those are the folks that we need to crack down on and make these things for. The ban would not be in place to say, no, you can never put your dog on a chain. If you need to put your dog on a chain for half a day because the fence is broke, then you do that. But this is to prevent those perennial. I want to own a dog for protection. I put the dog back there and make it hard so nobody will come in to steal my house. I was like, do you think that dog? I think if you're lovely and loyal to that dog and treat it like a family member,
there's going to be a better guard dog.
You won't have to chain up in the back. The dog will do it without you telling it. It will protect you.
Breaking news this hour
all the time because it's a part of your family.
But also, if you have the dog chain in the backyard, they can go to the other side of the yard and get in your yard.
Absolutely. So please.
Support the cause. Go on our Facebook page, message Abby directly, and say, hey, we want to help you. What can we do?
Absolutely. And if you live in the city of Roswell, you have 2 city councilors. You can each district has a city councilor. Shoot them emails. Tell them how you feel about this. So when it does come before them, they know the people that they represent, how they feel about it.
Yes, we would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, thank you, ma'am, as always.
Thank you. Sorry, we always go over.
It's my fault. I get to talking and telling stories. We'll see you here in a couple of weeks, okay?
Yes.
All right. It is 10 o'clock, almost 10:01. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care.
If the price of bread is too high.